then he lost 23-26-6, one shutout, and an average of 3.83. And for the Kings, filling in for the flu-ridden Kelly Rudy, it's Glenn Healy, who during the regular season won 25 games, lost 19 with 2 ties and a goals against of 4.27. Grant Fuhr to our left, a quote on his shaved head: "I was cutting it, then I got out the foamy and figured I might as well go the whole route." And we're underway in game 1. Here's Bob.
Thanks, Nick. Oilers drive it down into the Kings zone. Here is Waters for the Kings. He's back in defense with Laidlaw. Kings have Taylor, Gretzky, and Kruzhelnyski up front. At center ice, Taylor sends it toward the Oiler line and deflects up over the glass. Out of play. And we'll have a face-off with the game just underway.
This is an officially copyrighted broadcast of the Los Angeles Kings Limited. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Kings is prohibited.
Nick, of course, the game played indoors, and thankfully we're not in the Boston Garden. It reached 103 degrees in Los Angeles today, but the heat down on the ice, I'm sure, is going to make these teams tired as the game goes on. 103 degrees here, and I don't think the Oilers are ever used to starting a playoff in that kind of heat. Here's Gretzky into the Oilers zone. He's tripped, and a penalty coming up. Gretzky came across the line. He got tripped. And a penalty against the Edmonton Oilers. Kings go on the power play. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Early penalty here in the first period, tripping Craig Muni at 35 seconds, and the Kings will go on the power play. Gretzky picked up the puck, just tried to bust behind right defenseman Craig Muni. He got out the stick, tripped him up. Kings during the regular season tied for 10th on the power play, penalty killing. The Oilers were second, and they led the league in shorthanded goals with 27.
And the Oilers with a draw, and it's driven down the length of the ice into the Kings zone, back behind the net, cut off there by Healy. Nichols had it taken away. Here's Messier in front. His shot deflected wide. The Oilers led the league with shorthanded goals, and they tried for one there. Kings with it, though. Here's Kruzhelnyski into the Oilers zone, down the left side across the blue line. Checked along the boards. It comes back to Nichols. Left point. He shoots. Tipped and scored! Chris Kontos. Kontos tipped in the shot by Bernie Nichols, and the Kings have jumped off to a lead. Nichols fired from the top of the left circle, and Kontos to the left of the goalpost, got his stick on it, tipped it between his legs into the net past Grant Fuhr. Kings lead 1-0.
Good job by the Kings. Mike Kruzhelnyski, who took out a couple of Oilers, and when Nichols got the puck, he had room, let the low shot go, and Kontos all alone to the right of Grant Fuhr, just redirecting it past the goaltender. Power play goal at 1:01. Kontos from Nichols and Kruzhelnyski, 1-0 Kings.
Now the Oilers back at full strength. They're moving from our left to our right here in the first period. They bring it to center ice. Jari Kurri, their leading scorer, and Jimmy Carson second in scoring on the ice for the Oilers now. Carson, the former King, knocked it down to the right wing corner, but one of the Oilers, it's Kurri, injured on the play. Jari Kurri in a collision in the right corner went down to his knees, and he is still down there. As I said, he was their leading scorer during the regular season. He came into the corner with Jimmy Carson and a couple of the Kings, and now the trainer comes out to tend to Jari Kurri, who is up on his skates and kind of reaching up toward his left ear.
Yeah, that's where they're tending to right now. Kurri going into the Kings corner, turning to his right, and it looked like the goalie stick may have come up and clipped Glenn Healy as he was skating by on the side of the head, the left side of his head, right around his ear, and he's holding it as he skates off. You don't want to lose a guy like Jari Kurri if you're the Edmonton Oilers. He led the club in scoring this year with 102 points, including 44 goals. Jari Kurri leading the club for the first time, of course, first year without Gretzky. 11 goals in 13 playoff games against the Kings, and 169 points in 117 career playoff games. So he averages about 1.5 points per playoff game.
Now the Oilers driving into the Kings zone. It comes around to Marty McSorley, the Kings on the right wing. McSorley takes a check, but he gets it ahead to Casper. Casper at center, over to Kontos on the left wing. Cantos trying to take it off the boards, couldn't do it. The puck is taken by the Oilers. Up to center ice is Lacombe, but he lost it to Cantos. Cantos for the Kings, throws it off the right wing boards into the Oilers zone. Here's Marty McSorley into forecheck, so is Steve Kasper. Good check by Kasper in the corner, but the Oilers come out with it. Up to center ice, now Thomas Janssen backhands it into the Kings zone. Kings are up 1-0. They scored on their first shot of the night. Here's Cantos, he got the goal. He's in the right wing corner, he's checked there. Here's Norm Lacombe in front, he shoots, saved by Healy. Rebound taken by the Kings, Steve Kasper. Kasper on the right side. He's got Cantos on the left wing and McSorley on the right, but the Kings are going to change up now as Kasper sends it into the Oilers zone.
That goal, Bob, by the Kings early, I think it took a little pressure off Glenn Healy.
And he just came up with a good save, too, from in close. Now the Oilers send into the Kings zone, taken away by Igor Liba. Kings have a 3-on-2. Liba to the red line, into the Oilers zone, left side, up the middle. Nichols fakes it, goes right. Nichols, a shot by Liba, and he hit the side of the net. Liba was set up on the left side by Nichols. Looked like he had an open corner and hit the side of the net, and we've got a penalty coming up. Hooking the call. 1-0 Kings in the first period, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
He gets the penalty for hooking. He was just in the box shaking his head because he missed a great opportunity before he took the penalty. Hooking Craig McTavish in the midsection as McTavish skated out of his own zone. But before that, a 3-on-2, moving the puck beautifully. Nichols across to Liba. Liba's saying, give me it, I'm open. Well, he got the puck, tried to shoot off the pass, and he hit the outside of the left post with Grant Fuhr beaten.
Great opportunity there for the Kings to take a 2-goal lead. Oiler power play tied for 16th at 19.8. King penalty killing 10th in the NHL, 80.3%. Off the draw, just outside the King line. It comes down into the right wing corner of the King zone. Glenn Anderson with it there. He's checked. Puck is driven along the boards and out to center ice and back into the Oilers zone.
Well, we mentioned the Oilers led the league with 27 shorthanded goals, but the Kings were right up there. They had 22, a club record, and of course Nichols and Gretzky up front did a lot of the damage offensively.
1-0 Kings. Here's Mark Messier for the Oilers across the King line. Goes to the left side. Messier on the left wing boards, feeds it back to the blue line. Over to Charlie Huddy, right point. He shoots wide to the left. Rebound taken now by Messier. Back to the left point to Thomas Janssen. Janssen plays it over to Messier, left side. Kings have Gretzky and Nichols up front to kill the penalty. Here's Messier down in deep behind the King net. Comes around the right side. Messier still with it along the right wing boards. Feeds it across. It's tipped by Gretzky, but not out. Held in by Thomas Janssen. He feeds it down to Simpson. Now behind the net, taken away by Tim Waters of the Kings. He cleared it out to center ice. Charlie Huddy of the Oilers couldn't hold it into the blue line. 16:24 to go. We're in the first period. As the Kings have a 1-0 lead, Ron Duguay out to the cheers of the crowd. Here's Jimmy Carson for the Oilers to Messier, the right point. Messier drives it in with 45 seconds up to go on the power play for the Oilers. Kennedy with a check. Duguay with a puck for the Kings. Here's Duguay to center. Here's Duguay to the red line. He shoots and a save by Grant Fuhr. As from the red line at center ice, Duguay put it right on the blocker of Grant Fuhr. Back comes Messier for Edmonton to the red line. Now down the right side into King's zone. 26 seconds to go on the power play. Tipped away and not cleared. It was tipped away but held in by Greg. Duchesne tipped it away. Oilers with it. Here's Messier, right wing boards, King's zone. Messier's pass to Greg, broken up and cleared by the Kings out to center as Gretzky got it, cleared it now with 9 seconds to go in the Oiler power play. Oilers with it. Carson across the King line, but his pass came back out to center ice. Now it's driven back into the King zone by Randy Gregg. Kings are back at full strength. They killed the penalty. Here's Duchesne moving it to Nichols at center. Nichols peels back to the King line, gives it to Kennedy. He sends it to center, taken away by Randy Gregg. Gregg for the Oilers. Kings are up 1-0 with 15:12 to go in the first period. Here's Dean Kennedy to Gretzky. His pass to Liba tipped away. Back to the King line. Taken by Duchesne. He moves it to Bernie Nichols at center. Nichols pulled down. No penalty. Puck taken by Gretzky. Here's Gretzky giving it to Liba. Taken away in front of the Oiler bench, though, on the right side by Dave Brown. Brown into the King zone. Brown in deep. Shoots and a stick save by Healy. Rebound behind the net. Taken by Tim Waters. Kings up 1-0. Waters to Gretzky. Gretzky to the red line over the left side to Nichols. And an offside called against the Kings. 1-0 Kings, first period. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Nothing on the early goal by Contos at 1:01 on the power play. The Oilers without a shot on that power play opportunity themselves. Kings doing a good job aggressively going right at the Edmonton Oilers and preventing the Oilers from getting into a seam for a good chance.
Nick, we talked about how important the first 5 minutes would be with Healy in goal rather than Kelly Rudy, who's out with the flu. And the Kings have played very well. They lead 1-0. And now the Oilers have it at center ice. To the King line. Norm Lacombe, right side. He can't go in any further. It's taken away and cleared out to center ice by Jim Weimer. But out of the reach there of Ron Duguay, and back to get it is Kevin Lowe. Lowe's pass to Kevin McClellan for the Oilers at center ice, taken away by the Kings. Ron Duguay. Here's Duguay to the red line. Here's Duguay, quoted as saying he's hungrier for the Stanley Cup now than ever before in his career. He gets knocked down at center ice, and a whistle. Now Jay Miller over there for the Kings, kind of pushing at Kevin Lowe of the Oilers for a moment.
Looked like he didn't hear the whistle. Well, first night of action. Smythe Division, first period. Vancouver and Calgary are tied up at 1. In the Norris Division, Detroit has defeated Chicago 3-2. Second period, Minnesota St. Louis tied at 2. In the Adams, Montreal over Hartford 6-2. Buffalo surprising Boston in Boston 5-0 in the third. Patrick Division, Washington 3, Philadelphia 2 in the third, and Pittsburgh defeats the Rangers by a score of 3-1. So the Penguins, making the playoffs for the first time in 7 years, made the most of it tonight.
And 1-0 in favor of the Kings, and all of this action tonight, of course, starting the best-of-7 series in all the divisions. Same two teams here will be back again tomorrow night, and of course so will we on Prime Ticket and also on KLAC Radio and our network. Now at center ice here is Mark Messier of the Oilers. He drives it back behind the King net. Healy stops it there, flips it around the right side to Dave Taylor. Taylor on the right wing. Also with Gretzky up front and Mike Kruzhelnyski for the Kings. 13:48 to go in the first period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon, and the Kings up 1-0. Here's Mark Messier for the Oilers. He sends it down into the King zone. Healy stops it, drives it in behind the net for Laidlaw. Laidlaw kicks it up on his stick, then gives it to Gretzky. He tips it out to center. It comes all the way back into the Oilers zone. Oilers back to get it. Here's Randy Gregg back behind his own net. The Oilers, of course, are the defending Stanley Cup champions. They give it away in their own zone. Taylor with it, left wing side, but he's checked along the boards. And Yari Curry back to help out for the Oilers. Randy Gregg took Taylor out of the play. Now the Oilers move it up to center ice. Here's Yari Curry. Curry to the King line. Swept off his stick by Waters and played now by Laidlaw. Kings with it. Gretzky to McSorley, left side. Oilers on. McSorley is held up, fell down, but he got a centering pass to Kruzhelnyski, who fanned out in the slot. And the puck taken by the Edmonton Oilers, Mark Messier. 12:55 to go, first period, game 1, best-of-7 series. Kings are up 1-0. Here's Steve Duchesne in the Kings zone. He's checked along the boards, but Gretzky comes back to take it for the Kings. Here's Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky's pass ahead and just hopped over the stick of McSorley at the Oiler line. McSorley checked by Steve Smythe, who's back in action. Now the puck taken by the Oilers and moved to center to Yari Curry. Curry's pass left side, chased in by Tikkanen with a shot deflected up high and off the glass. Comes to the right point, Thomas Johnson. His shot knocked down, Kings with it. 3-on-2 to center. Here's Contos to Gretzky. Couldn't hang on to it. Oilers break it up. But at center ice, Kings drive it back in, and the Kings are offside on the play. 12:21 to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Hello, Coach. General manager of the Edmonton Oilers, of course, is Glenn Sather. He has won 21 of his 26 career playoff series in 9 years. A .723 winning percentage in postseason play. And of course, he has guided the Oilers to 4 of the last 5 Stanley Cups.
Oilers with it at center ice here. Dave Brown, formerly with the Flyers. He drives it into the Kings zone, and Dale DeGray out to the Kings over to Igor Leva on the right wing. Leva gets it to center, but out of the reach of Luke Robitaille, and the puck comes back into the Oilers zone. Kings have Nichols at center with Robitaille on the left wing and Leva over on the right. Puck is back behind the Oiler net, taken by Thomas Johnson, a late season acquisition from the New York Islanders, and of course a lot of playoff and Stanley Cup experience and wins by Thomas Johnson. He sends it down to the Kings zone. Here's Dale DeGray. DeGray checked on the right side by McTavish, but he got it up ahead to Igor Leva. Leva cut off at center ice. Leva back into the Kings zone. Kings leading 1-0 with 11:40 to go in the first period. Here's former Oiler Jim Weimer. Weimer sends it right side to Robitaille. Backhander saved by Fuhr. Falling in front of the net, he made the save in the glove, and he hangs on for the face-off. Nichols came by in front trying to perhaps deflect it in midair, but Grant Fuhr made the save.
Weimer, who has generated a lot of the offense out of his own blue line since he was picked up late in the season, across in the right boards, and Robitaille, I think, was trying to dump it in front to Bernie Nichols, but he got it on target, forcing Fuhr to make the save. Last year in the playoffs, 16 wins, set a record. He won every game in all 4 rounds for Edmonton, and an average of 2.90. Grant Fuhr.
Face-off will be to the left of Grant Fuhr. We want to welcome all of you viewing on Prime Ticket and elsewhere around the country tonight. Also listening on KROL in Las Vegas, KSEV in Houston, Texas. Nice to have all of you with us. And cable radio, and also, of course, on KLAC. Houston, Texas with us tonight, Nick. You going to give them that howdy? Nice to have all of those fans with us. And now at the whistle as Fuhr picks it up. Muni and Sykes collide in a heavy collision in front of Grant Fuhr.
I think Sykes was heading for the front of the net right before the whistle, and then he heard the whistle, tried to stop up, but stumbled a bit, and Muni took exception right off the draw. Sykes going right towards the goaltender, and then the whistle, and Muni give him a little left shoulder there. Muni a lot bigger than Phil Sykes, but nothing develops. One pattern, Bob, I've seen here in the opening 8.5 minutes, the Oilers trying to get in there quickly and get 2 forecheckers on the puck, whereas the Kings are a little more cautious.
Kings win the draw. Laidlaw with a shot saved by Fuhr. The Oilers have been held to 2 shots for the first 8.5 minutes. Kings are up 1-0. Oilers within their own zone. Here's Kevin Lowe. He sends it behind the net over to Muni. Muni on the right side to Lacombe. He shovels it to center to Mark Lamb, tipped away by Waters. Waters with it for the Kings at center ice. Waters pass to the Oiler line, broken up by Muni. He gives it back to Mark Lamb at center. Lamb checked from behind by Phil Sykes. Sykes with it to the red line. Oh, and he went to shoot it into the Oilers zone, and he hit Ron Duguay, his own teammate, in the head. And of course, Duguay doesn't wear the helmet.
Well, I think he also hit Norm Lacombe with a stick up high, and it's a delayed penalty on Sykes.
Delayed penalty against the Kings. The puck comes into the Kings zone. Healy sweeps it along the boards, and the penalty is called. 1-0 Kings. Oilers go back on the power play. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Introduced.
Phil Sykes to the penalty box. He's going off for high sticking Norm Lacombe at center ice. The penalty at 9:12. Sykes shoots it in, sees Lacombe coming, and gets his stick up to prevent getting hit harder than he actually was. But in doing so, he clipped Lacombe on the side of the head. So Sykes for high sticking, and the Oilers on the power play. Their first power play tonight, when Liba was off, they didn't have a shot.
Well, let's see what they do here. Here's Charlie Huddy at the left point, King zone. Feeds it down the left side to Simpson, taken away and cleared out to center ice by Bernie Nichols, and then he drives it all the way down further into the Oilers zone. 10.5 minutes left to go in the first period. The Kings are up 1-0. They have outshot the Oilers 5-2. King goal was on the power play by Chris Contos. Now a pass by the Oilers to Messier, right side, cutting in behind the King net. Messier lost it there. Anderson over to pick it up. He gives it to Messier. Messier around the right side, now goes back behind the King net. Now around the left side. His pass right to Bernie Nichols. Nichols comes to center with Gretzky. Here's Nichols to the red line. No play there. Peels back into the King zone. Gives it right side to Dean Kennedy. Kennedy to center and sends it into the Oilers zone. 1:13 to go in the power play for the Edmonton Oilers. Here's Thomas Johnson starting out of his own zone. Up to center ice. Ron Duguay, after being patched up on the bench by trainer Peter Demers, is back out to kill the penalty now. Looked like he got hit by that puck on the top of his head, the one that was fired by Sykes. Oilers with it. Jimmy Carson, his pass taken away by the Kings. Here is Duguay to Casper into the Oilers zone. Casper right side, backhander, tipped wide. Casper with it again behind the net. Overskated there, taken away by Charlie Huddy of the Oilers. 44 seconds left to go in the power play for Edmonton. Kings lead at 1-0. Poke checked away nicely by Waters. Poked it away from Curry. Now Gretzky at center. Over to Waters. Waters left side. Shoots from the left point. It's wide. Rebound comes to the Oilers in their own zone with 30 seconds left to go in the power play. Kings lead at 1-0. 9:13 to go first period. Oilers with it. Steve Smythe. He brings it across the line, sends it over the left side to Carson. Carson checked, but it comes into McTavish. McTavish back to Carson, left side to the blue line. Oilers with it to Steve Smythe. He shoots, saved by Healy. Rebound up the middle, taken by the Kings. Bernie Nichols. 10 seconds to go in the King penalty. Nichols across the line. Nichols right side. Tikkanen takes him out of the play into the corner, and the puck played by the Oilers, and the Kings are back at full strength right now. So they've killed their second penalty of the night, but now the Oilers with it. McTavish, right wing, he shoots, and it hit the post and came out to center. Kings with a 2-on-1. Here is Gretzky with Nichols. Gretzky right side to Nichols. He shoots and a save as Fuhr came sliding across. And the Oilers try to clear it, and now they've got a 2-on-2 to center. Messier down the right side, drops it to the trailer. Tikkanen shoots, save off the glove of Healy. Puck taken by the Oilers. Kings zone, pass up the middle, broken up, and played by Weimer. It was broken up by Nichols. Here's Jim Weimer for the Kings to center. Weimer's pass to Kruzhelnyski. His shot deflected wide. 8:09 left to go. First period. Kings lead at 1-0. Great action here in period number 1. Back come the Oilers. King line across the line and down the right side. Mark Lamb checked in the corner. Puck taken by Lacombe, taken away by the Kings. Robitaille. Here's Robitaille to center. The crowd cheering Luke. Luke. He tried to split the defense and Mutiny took him out of the play. 1-0 Kings. 7:45 to go in the first. Oilers come back. Left side Kings zone. Back checking is Duchesne to take it away. Tried to give it to Kruzhelnyski at center, but the Oilers intercept. Kind of wide open hockey here, Nick. First period.
But the Kings are coming back. Their forwards, for the most part, are picking up the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers also not passing the puck all that well. They're looking for the third forward coming in. The defenseman jumping up, and they're not hitting them.
Penalty against the Oilers coming up with a crowd chanting, "Go, Kings, go." It's a delayed penalty. Here's Duchesne for the Kings to Kruzhelnyski. Oilers zone in front to Robitaille. Over to Gretzky, and a save by Fuhr as Gretzky had it on the left wing, and Fuhr moved over to make the save, and he hangs on. 1-0 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
First, there was Newt
On 3 of the 4 Cup champions in Edmonton, elbowing at 12:51, and the Kings go on the power play for the second time here in the period. They scored a power play goal early. Kennedy had just gotten rid of the puck, and he took a good stiff left elbow from McClellan, and then at the other end of the delayed call, Robitaille setting up Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky one-timing it, but Fuhr came sliding across, made the leg save, and then gobbled up the rebound and held on.
Well, it's 1-0 Kings, and we'll pause right now for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
1-0 again, the goal early at 1:01. Power play goal by Chris Kontos from Nichols and Kruzhelnyski. And Bob, I've never seen so much black, silver, and white at a Kings game all year. Of course, the new colors this year than I have tonight. The sellout crowd and everybody, it looks like, has got something to do with the Kings colors on.
Well, they have really responded, this crowd here tonight, to the Kings effort. The Kings are leading 1-0, but Grant Fuhr has come up on a save on Gretzky with a great chance. Igor Liba with a shot with an open net on the left side had a chance. The crowd chanting "Go Kings Go" once again, and wearing, as Nick said, all that white, black, and silver.
Problem with the net, I think it's torn past the post to the right side of nothing. They have outshot the Oilers 6-4. The Kings getting most of their chances on line rushes up the ice, where the Oilers had one shot on their last power play and a couple of chances from forechecking pressure.
Now the Oilers win the face-off in their own zone. They move it over to Messier. Messier to center. Oilers are short-handed, but they're dangerous. Messier across the line. Left side, a shot saved by Healy. On a shot from the left wing side by McTavish. Kings come back to center, but a pass broken up, and now it comes off Messier's stick after Lowe broke it up. It came off Messier's stick, back down deep into the Oilers zone. Kings intercept. Nichols, right side, shot saved by Fuhr on a shot by Gretzky. Rebound, Kontos send it in front. It deflected out to the left wing boards. Kings with it again. Nichols, left point. Nichols over to Duchesne. Duchesne to Gretzky, right side. Kings on the power play, leading 1-0. Gretzky to the blue line to Duchesne. Left side to Nichols. Nichols in front, shot. It's just wide by Kruzhelnyski. Now the puck rolls free and is cleared past Nichols out to center ice.
Well, Grant Fuhr twice has made sliding saves on the Kings shooting off the pass. That last opportunity, Gretzky trying to one-time it at the base of the right circle. So Fuhr is on his game.
Oilers send it all the way back behind the King net. Here is Steve Duchesne starting out for the Kings with 53 seconds to go on the power play. Pass up the center to Casper. Steve Casper sends it down the left side in toward Taylor. Taylor barrels into the corner. Taylor centers it up the middle. Taken by the Kings. Duchesne, but his pass taken away. Here's a break for Tikkanen, but off his stick. Now out of the nets comes Healy to poke it away from Jari Kurri and out to center ice. Tikkanen just had it tick off his stick, and then he lost his balance. The Oilers would have had a 2-on-none looking for a short-handed goal. Kings with it at center ice and a 1-0 lead. 5.5 minutes to go, first period. Puck driven into the Oilers zone around the boards, left wing side. Casper there, now to Weimer. Weimer gives it to Robitaille. Robitaille in front to Taylor. His shot deflected by Fuhr. Puck comes to the blue line to Weimer. Weimer right side for the Kings to Dale DeGray. He shoots, deflected wide. Robitaille right wing corner. Robitaille checked there. Taylor over to get it. Taylor for the Kings. Taylor up the middle to Casper. Casper can't get a shot. Oilers are back at full strength. Casper in front. Left side Weimer. Backhander tipped wide. Behind the net Casper. Tried to roll it in front and hit the back of the net. Oilers Steve Smythe with it. And he clears it past Dale DeGray all the way down into the Kings zone. Oilers and the Kings are at full strength. 4:54 to go, first period. Kings lead it 1-0. Oilers break it up at their own line, but now it comes to center ice, taken by Robitaille to Gretzky. Gretzky, Oilers zone. Gretzky to Duguay, but out of his reach on the right side. Back come the Oilers. Mark Lamb across the King line. His shot steered into the corner by Healy. Puck taken by the Kings. Here's Ron Duguay on the right side. Up ahead to center to Kruzhelnyski. Kings with it. Kruzhelnyski across the line to Gretzky. Right side. Gretzky's pass deflected off the skate and out to center ice. 4:25 to go. First period. 1-0 Kings. Gretzky sends it into the Oilers zone. It's back behind the net. Grant Fuhr cuts it off there. Oilers moving left to right. Move it up to center. Charlie Huddy's pass on the right side, and then Messier rolls it into the Kings zone. Into the corner goes, or into the boards goes Laidlaw. He digs it out, but we've got a penalty. Holding the call, and penalty against the Kings.
I think they got Tim Waters for holding up one of the Oilers, Glenn Anderson, trying to go after that loose puck in the corner to the left of Healy. So this will be the 5th power play here in the period and the 3rd for the Edmonton Oilers. In their first 2, the Oilers only had 1 shot on goal. Nothing dangerous. A shot from the right point from Steve Smythe. So Waters is in the penalty box here at 15:53 for holding. Waters number 5. And on the right side of your screen, you see an Oiler go down, and there's the call. So the Oilers on the power play, trailing 1-0.
Tim Waters sits in the penalty box for the Kings, and the King penalty killers asked to do it again now as Laidlaw is out, Kennedy is out, Duguay and Casper face off to the left of Glenn Healy. Again, if you joined us late, Kelly Rudy, who probably would have started this game, is out with the flu. He is in the dressing room. He is not on the bench. He is that sick. And Glenn Healy, who just got over the flu, is in net. And the Kings have a 1-0 lead. Healy has faced 6 shots so far in the first period. Now off the draw in the right wing corner. Dean Kennedy throws a check at Glenn Anderson. Oilers trying to hold it in. Here's Anderson with it on the right wing boards to the blue line to Tomas Jonsson. Jonsson feeds it to Glenn Anderson. Anderson's pass down on the right side. Now back by Messier to Jonsson to Huddy to Jonsson. He shoots. Blocked in front. Puck comes over on the right side, but just out of the reach of Messier. Messier with it again for the Oilers. His pass broken up by Casper. Now in the slot. Oilers hold it in. Right side. Here is Craig Simpson. His pass hit Duguay, and it bounced right down to Steve Casper, and he clears it for the Kings.
Very patient, killing penalties. The Kings aren't running around. The Oilers trying to move it around quickly and break down the Kings, get them to overreact. But the Kings just positionally sound and not giving anything in the high percentage areas, not letting the Oilers get into the slot.
Thomas Jonsson drives it into the Kings zone. Here's Kennedy and Jimmy Carson battling for it. Carson with it, sends it back behind the King net. Laidlaw with check pass in front. Jonsson shooting, saved by Healy. Rebound, score. Healy couldn't cover it up. Thomas Jonsson right in front with Jimmy Carson, and when Healy couldn't cover the rebound completely, the Oilers scored. Thomas Jonsson, I believe, got his stick on it, although Carson was there, and the game is tied 1-1.
The power play goal here at 16:54. A fabulous first save by Healy. The puck comes behind the net, and sneaking in was Jonsson. A little move and an arm save is made. Then Jonsson got his own rebound, put it back into Healy. Then he worked it free past Healy's outstretched right arm and one of the legs of Kennedy. Point of view camera replay right behind Healy's net. You see the puck sitting there, and Jonsson nudged it the 3rd time. He had 3 whacks at it, and the arm of Healy or the leg of Kennedy just couldn't keep it from going in.
So the power play goal ties the game at 1-1, and it was unfortunate because Healy made a fine save on the first shot. Now Duchesne Duchesne at center, sends it across the Oiler line, but it comes back out to center ice, taken by Chris Contos. Contos falls down as he sends it into the Oilers zone. Kings and the Oilers are at full strength. Game tied 1-1 first period. Pass up to center ice. Here is Jimmy Carson for Edmonton. He drives it into the Kings zone, played off the boards by former Oiler Marty McSorley. McSorley for the Kings. He drops it off now as the Kings start back out. Duchesne moves it up to center ice, comes all the way down into the Oilers zone, and Randy Gregg back to get it. Gregg checked by McSorley, and Gregg moves it up to center ice. Oilers with it now to the King line, but it is taken away as McTavish got knocked down. Here's Laidlaw with it. Laidlaw for the Kings gives it on the left side to Waters. Waters in the King zone. Moves it up to center ice to McSorley, off his stick, and Contos couldn't get it. Oilers took it away, but now Waters came back to Contos, intercepted by McTavish. Oilers shooting, saved by Healy. Rebound taken by the Kings. Here is Nichols with it. He clears it out to center. Healy with a save, and Nichols cleared it to center. 1:56 to go here in the first period. The puck is at center ice, and Dave Hunter of the Oilers fires it down into the King zone. Robitaille with it right in front of the King net, and his pass just does get out to center ice. 1-1 to score, 1:40 to go first period. Here is Muni at center for the Oilers. Now Glenn Anderson, who had a tough season. Anderson flips it high in the air, down into the King zone, wide of the net to the right. Healy out to poke it along the boards, and it comes loose to Waters. Waters for the Kings, up to Igor Liba. Liba to center, into the Oilers zone. Liba right side, dropped it back for Nichols, but off his stick. On the left side, here's Duchesne. Duchesne checked along the boards by Anderson, and Kevin Lowe takes it. He sends it behind the net, broken up by Liba. Now Liba, left wing corner, in the Oilers zone. Up the middle, Duchesne, shoots, save, rebound is to the Oilers as Nichols got taken out of the play and no penalty. Back come the Oilers. Kevin Lowe to center, taken away by Duchesne. Duchesne for the Kings, 1 minute to go in the period. Duchesne, Oilers zone, dropped it back, shot, saved by Fuhr, and the shot by Robitaille. A glove stop, and he hangs on. The fans are upset that a penalty wasn't called on the Oilers when Nichols got dragged down. Robitaille just got the shot, and Fuhr made the save. The game is tied at 1. Duchesne in the Oilers zone dropped it to Robitaille, top of the right circle. He got good wood on it, but Fuhr down on his knees in the crease made the save, and he hangs on. 55 seconds left to go in the first period as behind the bench looking on after the Healy made the save, and then underneath the leg of Kennedy was the stick of Thomas Janssen to poke it into the net. That was the Oiler goal as Janssen got stopped first of all on a nice save by Healy, but then he just reached under and poked it into the net to tie the game at 1-1. 55 seconds left to go first period. Face off to the left of Grant Fuhr. Kruzhelnyski for the Kings with Taylor and Gretzky up front, and the puck is in the right wing corner. Taylor goes for it there. He gets it behind the net to Kruzhelnyski. He tried to wrap it around in front. He's tied up, and a penalty to the Oilers. Well, finally they're going to get that. The Oilers really clutching in their own zone, and that time Kruzhelnyski was all wrapped up. Couldn't get the backhander off, and McTavish is going to go to the penalty box as Glenn Sather, the Oiler coach, looks on. As Kruzhelnyski came behind the Oiler net, he got grabbed on his left arm, brought it in front, was still being held, couldn't get the shot, and then went down to his knees, and the holding penalty called against McTavish. The game is tied 1-1. Kings have outshot the Oilers 11-9. Time of the penalty 19:15. We have 45 seconds to go in the first period. The Kings took a 1-0 lead. The Oilers came back to tie it. Chris Contos getting a little helmet repair. He made a beautiful deflection into the net between his skates in the early in the first period of 1-1 to give the Kings the lead. Now the face-off to the right of Grant Fuhr. And on the draw, Bernie Nichols. Nichols shoots, it's deflected, and the Oilers have it. Never got all the way into the goal. Oilers, Mark Messier at center. They head now to Lamb with a drive. Block Lamb, rebound, shot it wide to the left. Nichols blocked the first shot, but Mark Lamb stayed with it, and his shot went wide to the left. Kings with a power play, trying to regain the lead before the end of the first period. Here's Duchesne at center. Flips it high in the air in the Oilers zone. Grant Fuhr plays it off the boards. Kings will try to hold it in. They do. Nichols fires it down in deep, but Kevin Lowe jumps behind the net to take it away. Lowe's pass to Messier. Here's Messier for the Oilers. He clears it to center and down into the Kings zone. 7 seconds left to go in the first period. Now Duchesne back to get it for the Kings. 2 seconds. Duchesne fires a shot from the Kings zone, but it's wide. And that's the buzzer sounding the end of the first period in game 1 of this best-of-7 playoff series. In the first period, the Kings grabbed the lead when Chris Kontos got his first of the playoffs. Power play goal from Nichols and Kruzhelnyski at 1:01. And then Tomas Janssen with his first of the playoffs on the power play for the Oilers from Carson and
Here for the Oilers, and goal to our right. 1-1, Edmonton and the Kings. Second period. Once again, here's Bob.
And off the draw at center ice, the puck comes back toward the King blue line. Here's Steve Duchesne with it. Duchesne moves it up to Casper on the right side. He drives it into the Oilers zone. Grant Fuhrer cuts it off behind the net. Oilers with it, moving from our right to our left, and they clear it all the way down into the King zone. Kings have 58 seconds left to go now on the power play. Game tied 1-1. Kings moving out of their own zone. Here's Jim Weimer, moves it up to center ice on the right side of Duchesne, and Duchesne tried to shoot it into the Oilers zone, and he shot it up too high and over the glass into the crowd.
Steve Duchesne, third-year defenseman, had his finest year for the Los Angeles Kings in 88-89. Second among NHL defensemen with 75 points. Paul Coffey, the runaway leader among defensemen, with well over 100 points again. Steve Duchesne setting career best for goals, assists, and points.
Face-off out at center ice. Nick, a tremendous amount of interest in this series around North America. 3 telecasts coming out of here tonight. Radio broadcast. Newspaper writers from all over the NHL here tonight. Looks like opening night all over again.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it not only has to do with Gretzky against his former team, but this is one of the more evenly matched first-round series.
Now the Kings with it. Here's Duchesne trying to give it to Casper, but it bounced over his stick, and Messier slaps it back down into the Kings zone. 24 seconds left to go in the King power play. Game tied at 1. Duchesne to Nichols. Nichols drives it into the Oilers zone. It comes around the boards on the right side. Chased in by Dave Hunter. He goes behind his own net. Still has it in the Oilers zone. Now Hunter around the left side as he reverses directions. Can't clear it. Weimer holds it in. Weimer left side to Gretzky. Gretzky with 6 seconds to go in the power play. Gretzky's pass knocked down, and the Oilers bring it to center. Here is Jari Kurri. Kurri shoots it in. Saved by Healy. Rebound. Save again by Healy. As Kurri shot it in easily, Healy made the save, and Dave Hunter pounced on the rebound. The Kings look like they got caught flat-footed. Back come the Kings. Here's Kruzhelnyski in front. He shoots, saved by Fuhrer, and the rebound swept out to center ice, and then the Kings are offside when it rolls off the stick of Tim Waters into the Oilers zone. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Then Kurri floated a shot in that Healy made a save on, and the Kings forgot to pick up Hunter, and Hunter moved in for an excellent scoring chance. Healy had to make the save while falling to his left.
Face-off outside the Oiler blue line. Both teams are at full strength. We're in the second period, early in the period, with a game tied 1-1. Here's Steve Smythe, and that's an important name in this Oiler roster here coming into the playoffs. We'll catch up with that in a few moments. Puck is driven down into the King zone. Casper breaks it up, sends it back out to center. Played by Glenn Anderson. Anderson to Messier. Here's Mark Messier for the Oilers. He drives to the King line, broken up by Tim Waters. Waters pass to center, misfires, and it's taken by Steve Smythe. Neither team all that sharp passing the puck in this game so far. Here's Messier. He gives a nice pass to Glenn Anderson. Left side. He shoots from a steep angle. Save made by Healy. Puck comes back along the left wing boards. Now thrown over to Messier. Right side. Oilers with it. King zone. Messier threw it toward the net to Anderson. Tipped away by Healy. Taken by the Oilers again. Right side. Shot wide to the left side. From the right side of the slot, the shot was wide, and the puck comes back to center. It was Craig Simpson that got the shot. Now the Oilers send it back down into the King zone.
Oilers using their quickness. They've got quick forwards that are experienced and fast, and they're getting in there quickly tonight.
Now the Kings with it. Here is a shot wide to the right side as McSorley dropped it back over to Kontos, and the Oilers have it. Game tied at 1. Here's Charlie Huddy. Huddy for Edmonton. Up to McClellan on the left side. He moves it ahead to Mark Lamb. Lamb down the left side. Checked along the boards on a hip check by Kennedy. Puck comes in the corner and a hard check on Waters, and he's hurt. Waters got hammered in the corner by
Norm Lacombe,
and Tim Waters is down on the ice and not moving. Lacombe really hit him hard in the corner, and I looked to see if there was going to be a boarding call or something on that. But Waters is down. Peter Demers, the King trainer, is out.
Waters going after the puck in the corner. played it up on the boards, and then he got bumped. He didn't see the check coming, and it looked like his neck snapped backwards as he was going face first into the boards, and he is down, and the trainer Pete Demers is out there attending to him. So we'll be back with the game tied up at 1. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Healy out of the top of the face-off circle. Bernie Nichols out to take the draw for the Kings. Mark Lamb for the Edmonton Oilers. Game tied 1-1. Lamb wins the draw to Huddy. He moves it off to the right point. Now behind the net to McClellan. Kings zone. Here's McClellan trying to send it out in front. Hit the net to wrap around left side, and a pass to the blue line. Taken there by Huddy with a shot through traffic. Deflected wide, and the Kings have it. Here's Robitaille. His pass out to center ice. Taken away by Thomas Janssen. He sends it back into the Kings zone. Kennedy broke it up. Got it to Duchesne. Duchesne to center to Nichols. He tipped it to the red line, taken away by Huddy. Huddy, Kings zone, shoots, and it's just wide to the right. Puck comes off the boards, out to center. Kings overskated. Here's Mark Lamb. Lamb with it. He stopped at the blue line after Nichols overskated. Now Robitaille moves it to center, and a loose puck is going to be played by the Edmonton Oilers. 16:22 to go here in the second period.
Oilers starting to throw their weight around.
Now Duchesne to center for the Kings. Duchesne's pass back on the right side into the Oilers zone, chased in by Jimmy Carson. Carson behind the net, skates around Igor Liba. Carson's pass almost broken up, but now he gets it back again and just does get it out to center. Kings take it away. Liba's pass to Robitaille, tipped away and back across the red line. Taken by the Kings. Dale DeGray flips it back down into the Oilers zone. 1-1 the score. The crowd chanting, "Go, Kings, go." Now on the right side, here is Yari Curry across the line, taken away by the Kings. Dale DeGray. DeGray to the red line. DeGray checked there, and then he knocks down Curry. Gretzky's pass broken up by Craig Muni of the Oilers. Muni moves it to Carson into the Kings zone. Carson right side shoots, saved by Healy. Carson went through the slot and had a lot of room on the right side. Healy made the save. Now Yari Curry, top of the slot. Curry gives it on the left side, taken by Esa Tikkanen. His pass is broken up and played by the Kings. Dale DeGray. Here's DeGray to the red line. DeGray to the other line. He shoots, and a save by Fuhr. Stick save. Puck is taken now by Taylor in front of Krushelnyski, but it rolled off his stick, and it's covered by Grant Fuhr. 1-1 the score with 15:12 to go here in the second period. Fuhr covered up, and a face-off coming to his left.
Grant Fuhr, a lot of people still feel he is the #1 goaltender in the NHL. Look at this playoff career record. 63 wins, only 21 losses, and a 3.00 average. And again, last year he was 16-2 in goal for every Edmonton victory. 2 years ago, last year, I should say, he had 75 games played everything in the playoffs. This year, he did play in 59 contests, 16 fewer than last year in the regular season, but that was his second most ever in his career for a single season. So Grant Fuhr, maybe the wins and losses weren't there like they were last year, but certainly he is a workhorse.
Tim Waters back in action for the Kings. That's good news. Oilers clear it to center. Kings, Jim Weimer drives it back in, and the Kings are offside at the Oiler line, so the faceoff comes just outside the blue line.
Well, one guy who did not have a great season, no matter how you cut it, is right winger Glenn Anderson. 16 goals, 48 points, career lows, 9 years abandoned.
No doubt about that. He comes flying down that wing and makes things happen, but as you noted, he has struggled this year. 15:05 to go. We're in the second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Game tied 1-1. Tim Waters for the Kings chases it down into the Kings zone, clears it back to center. Randy Gregg of the Oilers flips it high in the air into the Kings zone. It's taken down by Laidlaw. Ahead to Ron Duguay. Duguay at center. Duguay gives it left side now to Condos into the Oilers zone. Condos pass left side in deep to Waters. Waters sent it back in front of the net. Tipped out on the right side by Fuhr. Taken by Gretzky at the blue line. Gretzky's pass over on the right side to Kasper. Throws it back on the left side, and Waters with it. He gives it to Kasper in deep Oilers zone. Kasper checked in the corner on the left wing side by Randy Gregg. Kasper tries to move it along the boards. He gets help there from Waters, but the whistle blows, and we're going to have a face-off in the Oilers zone. We're tied at 1. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Of utilizing them, tying them on their head.
And wipe the perspiration off their face. 103 degrees in Los Angeles today, in case you didn't hear our reference to the weather before, although Dave Taylor said not too bad out there on the ice. Puck taken by Kevin Lowell for the Oilers. They're moving from our right to our left. Now to center ice. Here's McTavish. Drives it down in the Kings zone. Glenn Healy takes it off the boards. Moves it up quickly on the left side. Kings come to center. Here's Marty McSorley on the right wing. McSorley across the line, delayed penalty against the Oilers. McSorley throws it down in deep, and Robitaille goes behind the Oiler net. He's wrapped up in front, a shot and a save by Fuhrer. Nichols with a shot. Here's Dale DeGray for the Kings. Out to the left point to Weimer. Weimer with a drive, blocked in front, and the Oilers control it, and the penalty will be called.
Leva controlling the puck down right wing, and on the left boards, Nichols was interfered with, and the penalty will be against the Edmonton Oilers.
So the Kings go on the power play. Dave Brown skating around for the Oilers, and the Kings are going to go on the power play here as Craig Muni goes into the penalty box for tripping at 6:05, and the Kings with a chance. But Nick, they had a good chance there before the whistle blew as Bernie Nichols got it in deep.
Best chance Nichols has had thus far in the game, and I think that's his first shot on goal. Just a quick pass out from behind the net as the Kings were controlling the puck and the delayed whistle, and Nichols one-timed it, but Grant Fuhrer was ready. Fourth power play for the game. Face-off will be to the left of Grant Fuhrer.
Ready to go on the draw. Chris Condo's lined up in the slot. Kings win the draw to Gretzky at the right point. He almost lost it out to center, but he got it again. Gives it to Nichols, left side. Nichols, Oilers zone. He's hounded by Tikkanen. Nichols pass behind the net, broken up and cleared out to center. Gretzky back to get it. Gretzky for the Kings. Drops it off on the right side to Bernie Nichols. That's a Tikkanen all over him. Nichols with 70 goals on the year. Now passes ahead. It's tipped by Condos into the Oilers zone. Kevin Lowe and Kruzhelnyski go for it. Kruzhelnyski with a good check on Lowe. Condos digs it out. Gets it to Gretzky. Left side. Up the middle. Duchesne with a shot. Blocked in front. Loose puck. Left side of the net. Now behind the net. Nichols with it. Nichols. His pass comes out to center ice. He was trying to get it into the left circle, and it came all the way back into the King zone. And now Duchesne's pass is taken away by Messier, but when he brought it across the line, Esa Tikkanen was offside for the Oilers.
Bernie Nichols, a career year for the Los Angeles Kings, and boy, what a season Bernie had. 70 goal season, only accomplished by 4 other NHL.
1-1 the score, 13-12 left to go in the second period. Off the faceoff outside the King line, the Kings with it. They have the power play for another minute 10. Here is Gretzky, moving it over to Dave Taylor. Taylor to Dale DeGray, but offside Kings at the Oiler line.
Well, the Kings just not sharp with their passing, especially through center ice here in the second period. Other action in the NHL, all first 3-1.
Now the draw outside the Oiler blue line. Kings with a power play for another minute. Here's Gretzky at the left point. His pass back to the right point comes out to center ice. Kings are having trouble getting into the Oiler zone and setting up the power play. Now Taylor busts down the right side into the corner. He's checked from behind, but he drops it off to Casper. Casper for the Kings to the right point to DeGray. To the left point to Gretzky. Gretzky back to DeGray. Right point. DeGray throws it over to Taylor in front. Can't get a shot. It's cleared by Mark Lamb of the Oilers. Taylor was right in the slot. He had to knock it down out of midair with his glove. Now here's Taylor into the Oilers zone. They're all over him, but the pass comes over to Casper on the left side. Casper along the boards. In the middle now to Gretzky. Gretzky goes to the right side. Gretzky pulls up along the right wing boards. Gretzky still with it. Now feeds it into Robitaille. Over in front. Shot knocked down and cleared by the Oilers.
Kings had 2 players open on the far side, Taylor and Casper, but the pass just couldn't go through. It was knocked down, fortunately, for Edmonton.
Now the Kings, Bernie Nichols. He moves it up to Kruzhelnyski. Across the line, left side to Robitaille. Robitaille, Oilers zone. He sends it around the boards over to Laidlaw. Laidlaw the right point. Kings are out of the power play now. Oilers back at full strength. Puck comes off the boards after a shot by Laidlaw. The Oilers with it. They'll move it up to center. Game tied 1-1. Here is Charlie Huddy and over to McTavish. He drives it into the Kings zone. Behind the net, Healy's pass over to Robitaille. Tips away from him and taken by the Kings. Up to center ice now. Kruzhelnyski. He lost it, and it's taken away by the Oilers again. Here's Mark Messier. Messier sends it into the Kings zone. Laidlaw back to cover up. 11:25 to go in the second period. 1-1 the score. Pass to center. Kings with it. Here's Nichols over to Contos, left wing, Oilers zone. Contos pulls up, sends it into the right wing corner, and the Oilers play it off the boards there. Back out to center ice now. Here's Norm Lacombe, checked at his own blue line by Nichols. Nichols took it away. Nichols right side. Nichols stops at the right point, feeds it down the middle, but off the stick of Waters into the corner to Condos. Condos in the Oilers zone, sends it around the boards on the right side. Nichols throws a check there. Kruzhelnyski over to get it. He's wrapped up, double teamed, and the Oilers take it away. Back they come to center. Pass at the red line is taken by Charlie Huddy now. Huddy shooting and a save in the pads of Healy. Got his left leg out. Kings with it. Breakaway. Casper all alone in front. He shoots and a save by Grant Fuhrer. And he covers up. Fuhr backing into the net, made the save as Casper went to the backhand, and we're still tied 1-1.
Oilers getting caught on a line change defensively. Casper hanging around at the red line, got the lead pass from Bernie Nichols, walked right in on Grant Fuhr, holds on, dekes to the backhand. Fuhr comes sliding across, makes the pad save, and the puck drops right on top of the side of his leg pad, and finally pinches it against his leg with the glove. Point of view, camera angle, replay. You see the puck go straight up, but it came straight back down on top of his leg pad. A third angle from down low in the corner. Casper shifting, the puck flipping up, and Casper denied the go-ahead goal.
Now the Kings with it again. Dean Kennedy from the right point. His shot hit Marty McSorley and deflects off to the Oilers. 1-1 the score. Oilers with it at center ice. We have 10.5 minutes left to go in the second period. Puck comes in deep. McSorley's pass taken away by Tikkanen for the Oilers, but now his pass tipped off McSorley to center. McSorley pokes it ahead into the Oilers zone, but Kevin Lowe back in a hurry. Lowe checked by McSorley. A shot from the left side and a save by Fuhr, and the shot by Jay Miller. Back come the Oilers, taking it across the line, dropped it back to Curry, and the Oilers go offside of the King blue line. 1-1 the score. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
You know,
Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings playing a tight checking game one.
Well, in the second period, puck is back behind the King net, and now out on the left side to Jay Miller. He's got McSorley breaking to center. Here's McSorley at the red line. McSorley to Miller. Jay Miller left side. He is checked by Thomas Johnson. Miller centered it to McSorley in the slot. McSorley can't get a shot. Holds it in though, right at the line. Now shoots, but the net is off the magnet, and the whistle blows. Two players were in deep, trying to go for the front of the net. Jay Miller, one of them, and Charlie Huddy the other, and the net got dislodged.
Replay point of view from right behind Grant Fuhr. You see Jay Miller being pushed into the crossbar by Thomas Johnson of the Edmonton Oilers, and the whistle blew. And I think with the big crowd here and all of the excitement, it's tough for some of those players. That's the second or third time that play has continued when it's already been blown down, so it must be tough along with the heat down there hearing those whistles.
Faceoff is going to be just inside the Oiler blue line. The Kings have Bernie Nichols out with Robitaille on the left and Igor Liba on the right. Jim Weimer back in defense along with Dale DeGray, and the Oilers win the draw. Mark Lamb. Now it comes over to Steve Smythe. Smythe, who had shoulder surgery, he's wearing a harness, but he's back in action here in game one tonight. Now Mark Lamb for the Oilers drives it into the Kings zone. Puck comes around the boards on the left side. Lamb chases it down there. He is checked. He digs it out. Lamb rolls it top of the slot. Kings take it away. Robitaille to Nichols. Nichols to the red line. Game tied 1-1. Nichols shot right at the goaltender Fuhr, but not hard. He made an easy save, and he gives it to Randy Gregg. Gregg's pass out on the right side. Igor Liba tried to take it away and almost did, but now the Oilers clear into center and down the left wing into the Kings zone. Here's Lamb and Weimer going for it, and Lamb bumped into Weimer, knocked him down. Now McClellan shoots, and a save by Healy. A save in the pads of Healy, and the Kings move it back to center. Game tied 1-1, second period. Robitaille to Nichols in the Oilers zone. He shoots, it's wide to the right, and the rebound comes up over the glass into the crowd. 8:54 to go, second period. Game tied 1-1. This game coming to you live from the Great Western Forum.
Kings hockey is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft.
For the Islanders, both clubs are experienced teams. A lot of playoff experience. The Oilers as a team, of course, they've won the Cup 4 out of 5 years. And the Kings, with Gretzky, Kruzhelnyski, and McSorley, were with Edmonton for at least 2 of those Cups. Gretzky for all 4, Kruzhelnyski for 3. But guys like Casper and Ron Duguay, they've also had a lot of experience.
Kings with it. Kruzhelnyski on the right side, but his shot is wide. He got it from Taylor after Taylor got knocked down. Now Glenn Anderson for the Oilers clears it to center. Anderson down the right side, moving in. His pass in front, saved by Healy on the tip by Simpson. Rebound, Messier shoots, save Healy, and a rebound covered up in front by Glenn Healy, and the crowd to their feet roaring as Healy stops the Oilers.
And that has to be music to Glenn Healy's ears, as he was kind of the surprise starter tonight with Rudy out with the flu. The Oilers, Dave Taylor couldn't hold up one of the Oilers in front. He redirected the shot on net, then Messier with Healy down put it right into the leg pads of Healy, so Healy got a break there. Messier goes upstairs. He's got himself a goal. But the redirection in front, the save made, and the Oilers jump on that rebound, and Anderson sets up Messier, who tries to go up high, but Healy, already on his side, makes the save. Glenn Healy has not won a game for the Kings since February 20th when he beat Toronto here on a President's Day game 5-4. Then the Kings 2 days later went out and got Rudy. He only played 4 other games and he lost all 4 of those. Mark Messier, the captain of the Oilers this year, lowest goal output, 33 since 84-85, which was an injury.
And Messier wins the draw to the right point of Muni. King zone. Muni shoots, and it's tipped wide by Healy behind the net. And chased there by Waters. Waters with it, flips it off the boards on the left side. Kings trying to clear their own zone, and Waters does. 8:20 to go, second period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. The game tied 1-1. First of the best of 7. Now the Kings trying to clear it, and we've got a penalty coming up against the Oilers for cross-checking. So the Kings go on the power play with a chance to take the lead. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Who combines power and speed. He's one of the more effective forwards in the NHL on the box for cross-checking. Messier, number 11, on the right side of your screen now at the top, cross-checking one of the Kings from behind. And the Kings go on the power play for the 5th time tonight. They're 1 of 4. The Oilers 1 of 3. Contos, the power play goal at 1:01 of the first period for the Kings.
They're clearing up some debris that came out on the ice. Now we're ready to go. Fans want the Kings to regain the lead. It's tied 1-1. 8:12 to go, second period. Same 2 teams again tomorrow night. We'll be with you again tomorrow night. 7 o'clock on television, prime ticket, and 10 minutes to 7 on KLAC radio. Puck played by the Oilers at center ice as they move it back to their own blue line. Now into their own zone. Here's Tikkanen, chased in deep. He gets it up to McTavish on the left side. He cleared it out to center. The Kings have Nichols, Contos, Duchesne, Kruzhelnyski, and Gretzky. Gretzky back of the King line, moves it over to Duchesne. The Oilers have been effective at not allowing the Kings really to get it set up early on the power play in the Oilers zone.
And their penalty killing was second. They've got some talented, quick players who are highly skilled that they throw out up there. McTavish, Curry, Tikkanen, etc.
Let's pause right now for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Oilers zone. Mike Kruzhelnyski will take the draw for the Kings. Kings have 1:29 to go in the power play. The game is tied 1-1, and the Oilers win the face-off, and they have plenty of time to clear it all the way down as Craig Muni sends it back behind the King net. Glenn Healy cuts it off there. Bernie Nichols back to get it. Here's Nichols around the right side. Headmans it up to center ice now to Duchesne. Duchesne to Gretzky into the Oilers zone. Gretzky's pass to Contos at the right point. Contos drives it behind the net to Gretzky. Oilers zone. Gretzky operates well there. Pass in front. Save on a shot by Kruzhelnyski. And the Oilers will bring it to center. Here's Yari Curry and a penalty against the Kings. Contos. Curry shoots and a save by Healy. Penalty against Contos. He was hooking Tikkanen at center ice to keep it from being a 2-on-1, and he got caught. Meanwhile, the goal is off the Magnets back in the Oilers zone, but it's not going to matter because the whistle had blown, and there goes the King power play as into the penalty box goes Contos. He was hooking Tikkanen because had Tikkanen gotten away from him, it would have been Curry and Tikkanen on a 2-on-1.
That time the Kings, when they were working on the power play, worked it in quickly down low. Then Contos rushed in front, and the pass in front missed Bernie Nichols, who tried to one-time it. So 3 Kings. Kings will send out Casper because the face-off's inside their blue line. Casper, probably the most effective King face-off man. And Kruzhelnyski, or rather Robitaille, Duchesne, and Kennedy will be sent out. So Contos for hooking at 12:53 in the face-off inside the King blue line.
In the first period tonight, Chris Contos got the King goal on a power play, and Johnson tied it up for the Oilers. Steve Casper out in his playoff 64 games played, so he brings experience into this King roster. Played for the Boston Bruins in the finals last year against these Edmonton Oilers as the Oilers swept the Bruins in 4 straight to win the Stanley Cup. Both teams shy a man for 55 seconds. Face-off in the Kings zone. Esa Tikkanen against the Steve Kasper of the Kings. Kasper's helmet gets knocked off by Tikkanen, but Kasper won the draw into Duchesne. He peels away in the Kings zone. Now trying to get it to Kasper, the blue line. Tipped away and held in by Kevin Lowe of the Oilers. But now the Kings back to get it. Here's Kennedy around the King net. His pass up to Robitaille at center. Went behind him. He didn't get it. Now tipped away. Robitaille again at center ice. Sends it back into the Kings zone to Duchesne. Duchesne and Kennedy back to the Kings. Kasper and Robitaille up front. Kasper still playing, of course, without the helmet that had been knocked off. Here's Robitaille to Kasper. Here's Kasper, the red line. Kasper shoots and a save by Grant Fuhr. 6.5 minutes to go in the second period. Game tied 1-1. In 15 seconds, the Oilers will have the man advantage. Puck is in the Oilers zone, back behind their own net. 10 seconds left now, the penalty to Messier, and they're just going to let it run down until he gets out on the ice. Here is Muni. Here's zone. Gretzky took it away behind the net. His pass out in front, broken up by Esa Tikkanen. Now Tikkanen up the center, and out of the penalty box is Messier. Oilers with a power play for a minute. Across the line. Messier, the right point over to Huddy, moving in. Huddy shoots, and he hit the goal post. Now the light goes on. Did he score or not?
Referee washed it out immediately. The light goes on, and they're going to have to double check.
The light went on, and the linesman, I think, Kevin Collins, is nodding. It went in. It went in up under the crossbar. It is a goal. Charlie Huddy came down the left side, drove a shot. The light went on, and the referee wasn't sure. He waved it off, but Kevin Collins, the linesman, said it was in. The Oilers lead 2-1.
Again, the shot from Charlie Huddy. Huddy with plenty of time, tees it up, goes upstairs, and you see the back of the net just go up. And Kevin Collins was pointing to the top of the back of the net where the puck went in and came right back out. An angle from the side on our simulcast replay. The shot by Charlie Huddy, and it goes in and out so fast, and that's why the fans are reacting along with Glenn Healy. But if the linesman is definitely sure that he saw the puck go in, he can tell a referee, and the referee can change his mind. The goal light went on. The referee immediately ruled no goal because he wasn't sure which was the right call. But then the linesman, Kevin Collins, quickly went up, and Charlie Huddy gets the go-ahead goal. The veteran defenseman at 13:58 here in the second period, a power play goal.
Now the goal being announced right now, the power play goal. The Kings' Tom Laidlaw over to talk with Kevin Collins. He's the linesman who saw it go in. Now the off-ice officials, in other words, the goal judges, they are from a neutral city. They are from Vancouver here tonight. And according to Kevin Collins, the goal judge was correct in turning on the light. The puck was in. So it's 2-1 in favor of the Oilers, and nobody scored at even strength yet tonight. Puck comes around the boards in the Oilers zone. Kings down for the first time tonight. They had a 1-0 lead, now trail 2-1. Oilers with it. Anderson tried to clear it, couldn't do it. Kings hold it in, but now give it away to Glenn Anderson on the left side. He moves it down in deep, and the Oilers will try and clear it out. Here's Charlie Huddy. Huddy moving up to center with 5.5 minutes to go. Second period. Now driven down in by Simpson into the Kings zone. Swept away by Healy, and off on the right side. Kings give it away, or it's overskated by the Oilers. A couple of Oilers were there, and they both overskated. Messier was one. Now the Kings trying to get out, and Waters has it in the Kings zone. Moves at the blue line, but the Oilers hold it in. Pass is broken up as Simpson tried to pass, and now the Kings clear into center. So there's some sloppy play on both sides right now. Here's Jay Miller for the Kings into the Oilers zone. Miller's pass deflected into the right wing boards. Miller with it again. He's checked from behind. Hounded by Thomas Johnson. Puck goes over to Marty McSorley for the Kings. McSorley throws it out to Weimer, the left point. Weimer gives it to Gretzky. Here's Gretzky dropping it off to Jay Miller. Miller tied up, gets help from McSorley, left wing side. McSorley digs it out along the boards. McSorley checked from behind. Puck is in the Oilers zone. McSorley trying to move it, and the whistle blows. Tempers flare a little bit, but everybody seemed a little out of sync there, Nick, on both sides for a while. It's 2-1 Oilers. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
And Jay Miller getting coincidental minors here at 15:21 of the second period. Miller in the penalty box for the Kings, who was with the Boston Bruins last year when they marched their way through the playoffs into the finals against the Edmonton Oilers along with Steve Kasper. Kings have to get some forechecking pressure on Grant Fuhr. They haven't had much of that here in the first period. Drive for the front of the net, get some chances, but give the Oilers credit. They're really standing up well at center ice and at their own blue line.
Kings have had only 6 shots in the second period. Kings with it. Here's Duguay in the slot. Duguay to Kasper. Kasper shoots and a save. Rebound up the middle taken by the Oilers. Not clear. Held in by Kennedy for the Kings. Kennedy drives it in toward the net. Tipped into the corner. Kings with it again. In the right wing corner, Kasper. He's tied up there. The Oilers dig it out. Ron Duguay into forecheck. Here's Kevin McClellan for the Oilers now. McClellan moving it up across his own blue line. Down to center ice. He drives it down the right side into the Kings zone. Comes around to Mark Lamb. Lamb on the left side. He's checked hard by Dean Kennedy. Puck comes around the left wing of the Kings zone. Taken by Condos. Condos flips it high to center. Taken by Duguay. Duguay over to Kasper. Oilers zone, but his pass taken away now by Kevin McClellan to the Oilers. He sends it high in the air out to center ice. 3:43 to go in the second period. Puck is sent back into the Oilers zone toward Fuhr, but he knocks it down easily as the Kings change up on the fly. Now Bernie Nichols out for the Kings. Jimmy Carson for the Oilers. Carson at center ice gets knocked down, but the pass is, or the puck flipped down into the Kings zone by Simpson and taken away by the Kings. Kings move it to center. At center ice, one of the Kings knocked down, no penalty. Here comes Laidlaw for the Kings down the right side into the Oilers zone. He's pulled down. Puck is in the right wing corner. Played by Robitaille to the right point to Waters. Waters with a drive, deflected, and the Oilers come out with it. Here's Curry. Curry back in his own zone, though. Took his time. Now clears it to center. Kings intercept. Marty McSorley has to wait for his teammates to get on side. Gets it to Waters. Waters at center ice with 3 minutes to go, second period. Here's McSorley. Sent it across the line. Oilers break it up. Now at center ice. Here is Tikkanen. His pass taken away by Waters. Kings come back. Waters to Gretzky. Oiler line. Gretzky to the left side. His pass broken up by Carson, who gets knocked down. Oilers with it at center. Into the Kings zone. Right side. Drop pass sent down in deep now and poked away by Healy into the corner and taken by the Kings. Up to Gretzky at center. Here's Gretzky at the red line. Gretzky, Oilers zone. Gretzky left side. Gretzky still with it. Gretzky in the circle. Hit shot. Glove save by Fuhr. And he hangs on with 2:25 to go. Second period. Kings are down 2-1.
Nichols with some words along with Esa Tikkanen. The linesmen will have to keep them apart. This all happening right as Fuhr gloves the shot by Wayne Gretzky. Nichols a bit upset with Esa Tikkanen. Again in the second half of the season, Tikkanen trying to shadow Gretzky and some of the top snipers on the Kings. Kings, Bob, I think have to do a little more dumping and chasing. They're trying to make the plays at the blue line, and the Oilers just are not giving them anything. That combined, I think, with the slow ice surface, which is developing now because of the heat, the puck is bouncing a lot, and you just cannot get anything sustained. 2:25 left here in the second period. 2-1, the Oilers in front. All 3 goals tonight on the power play. The go-ahead goal, 13:58. Huddy from Curry and Messier.
Gretzky in the regular season against his former mates, 1 goal, 15 assists in 8 games for Wayne Gretzky. So he said early on this year to play against them was real tough, and then I thought later on he started to play like the Wayne Gretzky that we know, but they have shut him down effectively here tonight. Face-off will be to the right of the goaltender Grant Fuhr, and off the draw Steve Smythe has it for the Edmonton Oilers. He goes back behind his own net, then drops it off on the right side, and here comes Messier to center. He fires it all the way down into the Kings zone, and an icing call as Dean Kennedy gets hit from behind just as he touched the puck, and he was in an awkward position.
Craig Simpson was trailing Kennedy, trying to beat Kennedy for the touch-up and the icing, and I think as Kennedy went down, then Simpson just couldn't put on the brakes in time. The 2 players chasing the puck, Kennedy and Simpson. Kennedy kind of goes down, and Simpson just holding on, and Simpson looks like he hit the top of his helmet on the dasher boards, whereas Kennedy hit his body down low on the boards, but both players are up and all right.
We mentioned Steve Smythe. He underwent shoulder surgery January 23rd of this year. He has not played in a game since January 2nd of this year, and he's one of their better defensemen, and a big lift for them, Nick, to have him back in that lineup here tonight.
And he's ahead of schedule. They were kind of hoping that he would be available for the second round if the Oilers got that far, but obviously Steve Smythe, the rugged customer, has been skating for a couple of weeks, and not only is he a steady defenseman, but he can play the point in their power play. Their power play has struggled in the second half.
And Steve Smythe with it now. We mentioned before wearing a harness because of that shoulder surgery. Oilers send the puck into the Kings zone. Tipped into the corner by Healy. Messier with it. Messier behind the King net. Messier pass on the right side. Broken up, but Steve Smythe with it. Smythe, backhander, knocked down by Duchesne. Duchesne on the left side. Headmans it up to Gretzky. 1:45 to go, second period. Gretzky with it into the Oilers zone. Gretzky in front, and Kruzhelnyski couldn't get it. And the puck taken by Steve Smythe. Kruzhelnyski being double teamed and held up. Now Smythe takes his time for the Oilers. He moves it out to center ice. 2-1 Oilers lead. Pass on the right wing to Glenn Anderson. Anderson in the slot. Shoots. Deflected into the corner by Laidlaw. Puck chased down by Taylor. Taylor throws a check along the boards. The puck is battled for. Oilers hold it in. Now McTavish held up on the right side. Taylor back to get it. Taylor a little bit off balance. Regains his balance. Goes into the corner. Gets checked by McTavish. Puck is in the Kings zone. On the left side, here's Duchesne up to Casper at center. Shovels it right side to Taylor. Taylor against Huddy into the Oilers zone. Taylor right side. Huddy takes him out of the play. Taylor crashes into the boards, gets help from Casper. 1 minute left to go in the second period. The puck frozen in the Oilers zone. 57 seconds to go in the second period. The Oilers lead 2-1.
Well, just a handful of scoring chances for both clubs here, not only in the game, but especially in the second period. Casper, Nichols, Kruzhelnyski. That's really been it for the Los Angeles Kings. One-on-one, Charlie Huddy, who I think is an underrated performer on this hockey club and around the league, just staying right with Dave Taylor, playing the body, shouldering him off, trying to get the puck again as it came free behind the goal line. Charlie Huddy, I thought in '82 when the first clubs met, the Oilers and Kings in that particular series, he was their best defenseman. And of course, then they had Kevin Lowe, they still have him, and also Paul Coffey, but he's been very steady.
Kings win the draw. Oilers zone. Laidlaw's pass in behind the net to Ron Duguay. Duguay is checked there. Traffic behind the net. Tomas Jansson is trying to pick it up. He is wrapped up Contos. Contos digs it out, but his pass around the boards is held in by Laidlaw. He threw a hard check, and then he's cross-checked from behind. And a penalty against the Oilers. They're going to get McTavish again.
Yeah, Laidlaw threw a pretty good hard check along the near boards as he pinched to keep the puck in. Then in retaliation, McTavish checked Laidlaw from behind, and usually in front of the boards, along the boards, you hit somebody from behind, you're going to get a penalty for boarding or cross-checking, and that's the call. Watch Laidlaw pinching to shoulder off McTavish. Laidlaw gets the puck, and right there, he's cross-checked from behind down low on the back.
So McTavish, in retaliation for the good check by Laidlaw, takes the penalty, goes into the penalty box. He had a penalty late in the first period, too. This one comes at 19:23 of the second period, and the Kings have 37 seconds to work with a man advantage to try and tie the game.
Well, special teams and goaltending, they can tell the story in a playoff game, playoff series. And tonight they certainly have been a factor. All 3 goals in the power play. The Oilers 2 of 4, the Kings 1 of 5. Kings with their 6th power play opportunity.
Kruzhelnyski, Gretzky, McSorley, Nichols, and Duchesne. And at the left side, here's Gretzky up the middle to Nichols. Oilers zone. Nichols pass in front, broken up, not cleared. Duchesne at the blue line. He shoots. Score! Tipped in, I believe, by Kruzhelnyski right in front of the net. And the Kings have tied the game on the power play, 2-2.
Power play goal for the Kings. They worked it back to Duchesne, who just teed it up and shot. A lot of activity in front, and it beat goaltender Grant Fuhr in the low right corner with Kruzhelnyski and McSorley in front. Another look on the simulcast. Duchesne had time and room. He saw the traffic, so he took the shot. It dipped a little bit on goaltender Grant Fuhr. Another angle, point of view camera behind Grant Fuhr. You'll see where the puck goes in, outside his left skate. Duchesne the goal, so it didn't change directions, unassisted.
Well, that's what I get for looking at the referee. He skated right over and pointed at Kruzhelnyski, and they're supposed to point at the guy that scored the goal, but it doesn't matter. It's tied at 2, 7 seconds to go in the second period, and both teams at full strength. Now the puck all the way down in the Oilers zone, and that's the end of the second period. And this crowd on their feet. Now we've got Bill Sykes and Yari Curry upset with one another just inside the Oiler blue line. Curry and Sykes, and they met and got their gloves up, and Jari Kurri, uncharacteristic for him to be in a little fisticuff here with Phil Sykes. Sykes pleading his case, but we'll get penalties here.
Waters and Jimmy Carson at the red line, so now a couple of Oilers come over to help out Carson as the officials trying to get the two teams separated. Both teams still remaining on the bench, and now the referee is telling both clubs to get off the ice.
Well, at the second period, 2 goals, and both on the power play again. Charlie Huddy with his first of the playoff for the Oilers from Jari Kurri and Mark Messier at 13:58. The Kings come back with their second power play of the night. Steve Duchesne, his first of the series, unassisted at 19:33 to tie the game. Coming up, Nick Nixon will be
6 to the Kings. Power play. Everybody has scored tonight with the power play. Oilers 2 of 4, Kings 2 of 6. Coincidental minor penalties at the buzzer, 20-minute mark. Jari Kurri in the box. Phil Sykes for the Kings, 2 minutes each for roughing.
Now the third period underway. The Kings moving from our right to our left with a game tied at 2. Laidlaw's pass comes all the way down the Oilers zone. Kevin Lowe breaks it up, sends it down to center off the stick of Mike Krushelnyski, and the Oilers take it away. Back up on the right wing side at center ice and driven by Glenn Anderson into the Kings zone. Sliding to his left is Healy to knock it down for Laidlaw. Laidlaw up to Taylor. Taylor on the left side clears it out to center ice right in front of the King bench. Glenn Anderson back to get it. Here's Anderson for the Oilers. Moves it off to the left side to Lowe. Lowe drives it into the right wing corner. King zone. Krushelnyski in to try and pick it up. He didn't get it, but Laidlaw did. He moves it around the right side to Waters. Waters deflects it off the boards out to center ice. It bounces away from Krushelnyski, and the Oilers with it again. Game tied 2-2. Here's Messier. Throws it up to the slot. It's batted out of midair by Laidlaw on the right side to Gretzky. Gretzky into the Oilers zone. Gretzky pass in front, and Contos couldn't get his stick on it. It comes to the Oilers, and it's cleared. Blue line held in there. Pass to Gretzky, right side. He shoots, save by Fuhr. Gretzky again, right point, in front to Duguay. Backhander, saved by Fuhr. And the puck taken by Messier of the Oilers. Messier gets it to Smythe. The Kings with 3 chances here early in the third, but couldn't get them past Grant Fuhr. We're still tied 2-2. Now Kennedy's pass into the Oilers zone, broken up by Randy Gregg. He sends it to McClelland at center. It's going to be icing against the Oilers, though, as Duchesne for the Kings touches up. So the Kings with chances early in the third, but still can't break the tie.
Well, we have a final score from Calgary in overtime. The Vancouver Canucks have defeated Calgary by a score of 4-3 to take a 1-0 lead in that.
Paul Reinhart got that overtime winner against his former teammates, the Calgary Flames, and how sweet it would be for him to win that game in Calgary. Anyway, the Kings have a tie here, 2-2 in the third period. Here's Jim Weimer, a former Oiler, now playing for the Kings, sends it in deep in the Oilers zone. It comes around to Duguay on the right side. He gets checked by Charlie Huddy. Duguay still battles for it along the boards, still has it. Now bats it free, but the Oilers cover up and move it out to center ice. 18-11 to go, third period. The crowd roaring now as they have just put the Canucks score up on the board, the score we just gave you. And the crowd notices it and they're roaring, as of course they want Vancouver to eliminate Calgary. Now the Kings in their own zone. Pass hit a skate as the Kings Casper tried to move it over to Condos. Now Weimer back in the Kings zone. Now up on the right side, cleared by DeGray to center, taken away and cleared back down into the Kings zone by Edmonton. Played by Jim Weimer. We're tied 2-2, third period. Early in the period, Weimer to Casper. Casper got stopped earlier on a breakaway. Comes across the line, sends it in deep. Here's Marty McSorley going behind the net with Muni. Muni takes him out of the play, and the Oilers move it up, and it's intercepted. Pass by Carson, intercepted. We've got a penalty coming up.
Kevin Lowe for upending Marty McSorley right in front, cross-checking the call. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Hello, sports.
Look as if, what did I do? Center of the screen, he brushes McSorley. McSorley goes down, and they call it cross-checking. Kings in the power play for the 7th time. They are 2 of 6. The Oilers both of their goals with a man advantage, 2 of 4. Face-off to the right of Grant Fuhr. Krushelnyski is out, along with Gretzky, Robitaille, Nichols, and Duchesne.
Ready on the draw, Mike Krushelnyski for the Los Angeles Kings. Game tied 2-2. 17:26 to go in the third period. Ready to go on the draw. Kruzhelnyski for the Kings is poised, but they don't drop the puck yet. Now they do, and the face-off won by McTavish and wrapped around the boards, but Duchesne couldn't hold it in for the Kings. It came out to center ice. Duchesne gives it to Bernie Nichols. Nichols slaps it into the Oilers zone, comes around the right side over to Robitaille. Robitaille gives it to Gretzky along the right wing boards. Here's Gretzky with it. Kings on the power play. Up the middle to Duchesne. Duchesne to the blue line. His shot tipped and score! Tipped in! Robitaille was in front. Bernie Nichols was on the left side of the net. And the Kings have gained the lead on the power play goal, 3-2.
And once again, they work it to Duchesne on the power play with traffic in front. That's how Duchesne scored in the second. He takes the shot. It's knocked down in front. First at the top of the slot, I believe by maybe Kruzhelnyski. It goes by Robitaille and then off Fuhr. Behind the net. You get a look at it again. The shot. And it changes directions and goes in off Grant Fuhr.
Now the last thing it hit was Fuhr's skate and went in. They haven't announced the goal scorer yet. The crowd is on their feet and going crazy here as the Kings have the lead again. And now an offside called at the King blue line against the Oilers.
Well, you know, Duchesne got the shot at the end of the second period with traffic in front. And from the point of view camera, let's watch the puck deflect off the defenseman on the right side of the net. The shot, and right there, it goes off the tip of his left skate past Grant Fuhr. So they give the goal to Mike Kruzhelnyski. So Kruzhelnyski got a piece of it. Then off Randy Gregg's left skate, and then off Grant Fuhr and in.
The Kings with that power play goal have the 3-2 lead. All goals tonight have been scored with a man advantage. Duchesne and Gretzky with the assists on the goal. Puck comes down into the Oilers zone. 16:36 to go, third period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Kings up 3-2. Gary Curry fires it into the Kings zone. Glenn Healy behind the net, swept it into the corner to Marty McSorley. He gives it back behind the net to Laidlaw. Laidlaw checked by Tikkanen, gets it up to Condos. His pass to Casper out of his reach. At center ice, the Oilers take it away. Randy Gregg's pass to Curry. Curry forced back by Condos, and now a pass taken away at center ice by Casper for the Kings. Casper throws it across the line, but just out across the blue line before McSorley could try and hold it in. 3-2 Kings. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Have taken the lead 3-2 on the goal by Kruzhelnyski from Duchesne and Gretzky. The Kings are successful, and they have been all year, at driving for the front of the net, creating chances, rebounds, deflections, screens, and that's how they've scored 3 power play goals tonight.
Kings with it, and Jim Weimer drives it into the other zones. Fuhr moved to his right and got his stick on it. 16 minutes to go in the third period. Kings up 3-2. Now to center, Charlie Huddy. Huddy, who's got a goal tonight for the Oilers, drives it into the Kings zone. Puck comes around into the right wing corner. Hard check throw there. The Oilers dig it out. Here's Lacombe behind the net. He is checked there, rolled it out in front. Healy tipped it away. Dale DeGray behind the net, moves it up on the right side. Kings with it in their own zone. It's cleared to Bernie Nichols at center, right from the King bench. He gives it to Jim Weimer. Here's Weimer for the Oilers. Weimer spins at center ice, now gives it to Nichols. Off Nichols' skate, and the Oilers back to get it. Thomas Janssen. Janssen back in his own zone, goes behind the net. Oilers moving from our left to our right here in the third period. Here's Glenn Anderson, tipped off of his stick by Jay Miller of the Kings, and deeper into the Oilers zone. Now Anderson sends it out to center, taken away by DeGray to Gretzky. Gretzky flips it high in the air. It bounces down and is taken down to center by Anderson. He gets it on the right wing to Messier into the Kings zone. Messier shooting, stick save Healy, and a rebound swept away, but a penalty coming up against the Kings. Tripping the call. And the Oilers are going to go on the power play with a chance to tie the game. The Kings lead 3-2, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Penalty box, tripping at 4:56. Messier cut down the right side with the puck. He's going to take the shot. Left side of your screen on the simulcast. Kennedy, number 6, is going to upend an Oiler driving for the front of the net. You see the tail end of it. It was Glenn Anderson going down. Oilers on the power play for the 5th time tonight.
Jimmy Carson, the former King, will take the draw against Duguay. The Oilers win the draw. Here's Thomas Johnson at the King line. Back on the right side to Tikkanen. Tikkanen fakes now. Shoots. Save Healy. Caught it. on for the faceoff. The Oilers' Jimmy Carson was trying to get in there to screen him or at least tip it in, but couldn't do it. The shot came all the way through to Healy, and Healy made the save.
Good job by the defense. Laidlaw down low at keeping the Oilers from getting in front of Healy, allowing the goaltender to get a good look at it. Boy, what a great job Glenn Healy has done. He and Grant Fuhr faced about the same number of shots, same number of quality shots, and Healy and Huddy just whistled one up high past him.
Steve Kasper wins the draw for the Kings, but the Kings don't clear it. Right point, Thomas Johnson to Tikkanen. Tikkanen for the Oilers. His pass taken away by Laidlaw. Laidlaw just did clear it out to center. Now the puck at center ice tipped by Duguay, and now picked up by Kasper in front of the Oiler bench. Kasper for the Kings gives it to Waters. Waters to Laidlaw. Kings zone. Laidlaw takes his time and clears it into the Oilers zone. 1:23 left to go in the penalty to Dean Kennedy. Kings are up 3-2. 14:20 to go, third period. Here come the Oilers. Thomas Johnson across the King line. His pass goes to the left point to Huddy. Huddy feeds it down the left side. Now back to the blue line to Huddy. Now to Johnson. His pass is tipped and up on a play off the stick of Laidlaw. They tried to get it in to Tikkanen. 14:11 to go, third period. Kings lead at 3-2. This game is coming to you live from the Great Western Forum.
Kings hockey is brought to you by your son.
These two teams have not acted like they're in the playoffs. They've had games that ended 10-8 and 6-5. And tonight, this has really had the playoff type style of play. Puck is taken in the Kings zone, but Gretzky intercepts the Oiler pass. Gretzky to center and then sends it easily into the Oiler zone with 53 seconds left in the King penalty to Dean Kennedy. Kings have a 3-2 lead. Oilers come to center. Pass on the right side, chased in by Messier. He's in there with Anderson. Jim Waters checks Messier. Anderson with it, right side to the blue line. Out of the right point. Here is Lamb. Lamb back to Anderson. Now down in deep to Messier. Messier sends it behind the net, off to the left side, now to the blue line. Taken to the left side by Steve Smythe with a drive. Saved by Healy. And he dives to poke it against the boards. And the Kings clear at the center. And a penalty coming up.
Yeah, Healy roughed up one of the Oilers who dove through the crease to try and get the puck, and he's going to get the penalty.
Delayed penalty against the Kings. There's a shot from the left side, deflected wide. The Oilers are losing time in a two-man advantage here. The puck is still along the left wing boards and now whistled down as Healy is going to get the penalty. The Oilers are going to have a two-man advantage for 9 seconds.
What happened, the shot came through, the save was made, and then diving through the crease behind Healy was Simpson. And he bumped Healy as Healy also dived after it to poke the puck in the corner, which he did, but I think he was thinking that Simpson was trying to prevent Healy from doing that, whereas actually Simpson was trying to get the puck himself, but Healy retaliated and roughed up by Smythe. It's deflected, the save, and right behind Healy is Simpson. He's diving to get the puck, as is Healy, and then Healy gets up, boom, left hand to the back of the head of Craig Simpson.
Now, Healy had made a great play. It's too bad that he took that penalty there, which is going to put the Kings two men down for 9 seconds, because he made an outstanding play to dive for it and poke it against the boards and then lost his composure a little bit. But what a job he's done coming on here tonight. The Kings have a 3-2 lead. Now, you said that face-off so important. It'll be Kasper for the Kings, Carson for the Oilers. If the Kings can win the draw, they can get the puck out to center, but they don't. It comes to Messier, the right point with a two-man advantage. Messier, right side to Tikkanen. He lines it up, fakes it, gives it back to Messier. In the slot, he shoots over the net. Kings get one man back. It's a one-man advantage for the Oilers, and the Kings will clear it. Nice play. Kennedy out of the penalty box, brings it into the Oilers zone. Kennedy shoots wide to the left, and the puck comes off the boards. Dean Kennedy made an outstanding play to clear it, then he almost scored. Back come the Oilers. Tikkanen throws it off to the left side to Messier in the Kings zone. Messier's pass to the blue line. It is held on the line and held on sides. It was close. Oilers with it. Kings zone to the blue line to Tikkanen. Tikkanen right side. Pass in front, broken up by Nichols. Can he clear it? No. Held in again by Tikkanen. Left side. Huddy. Huddy moves it now right side. Shot wide by Messier. Going for the right corner. Messier and Gretzky along the boards. Oilers hold it in. Simpson checking the corner. Kennedy with it. Kennedy to Nichols. Nichols clears to center ice. Puck comes all the way down in the Oilers zone with 53 seconds to go in the King penalty. 3-2 Kings lead. Here come the Oilers. Tikkanen across the line. Taken away by Nichols. Nichols out the center. Nichols to the Oiler line. Pulls up. Nichols still with it. Gives it to Gretzky. Oilers zone. Gretzky sends it right side to Duchesne. Duchesne in deep back to Gretzky. Top of the slot. Gretzky. Oh, he tried to give it to Nichols. goes alone on the left side of the net, and the Oilers intercepted. Great interception by Tikkanen. He sends it down the right side into the Kings' zone, and it's pulled into the right wing corner now. Tikkanen with it over to Messier. 30 seconds to go on the power play. To the blue line to Curry. Curry over to Huddy. Huddy back to Curry. Shovels it down the right side to Messier. Messier check. Looks at the clock. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Gives it to Huddy. Left side. Huddy's pass. Over on the left side of Carson. Now to Huddy. Now over to Curry. Curry with a drive in front. Knocked down. Puck comes over to Carson. Carson to the blue line to Huddy. Huddy spins. Shoots. Glove save. And what a beauty by Glenn Healy. Oh, the save of the night by Healy as he reached out with his glove and made a great glove save.
The Oilers really moving the puck around crisply and quickly on this power play. The Kings not breaking down for the most part. And Huddy finally let the shot go. And Healy, seeing it all the way, stretches out the left arm, does the splits. Boy, that's nice to watch when it happens. Charlie Huddy, who scored one of the 2 Edmonton goals, but a glove save by Glenn Healy, who hangs on. And a lot of the people standing in appreciation, especially down at that end. And that save by Glenn Healy. 24 saves tonight.
He has really come up big. The Kings lead 3-2. 11-11 to go in the third period. Healy. Face-off will be to the right of Healy. Both teams at full strength. Mark Lamb facing off for the Oilers, and the Kings come out with it. Weimer leads it ahead down the left wing to Contos into the Oilers zone. He shoots way wide to the right. Rebound off the boards is played by the Oilers, and they will come back out to center ice now. It's taken by Lamb. Lamb gets it on the right wing to Norm Lacombe. Lacombe moving in, gets spun around by Dale DeGray, and the Kings come out with it. 2-on-2 to center. Here's Contos with DeGray. They crisscross. Contos right side spins, and his pass into the left wing boards. Taken away by the Oilers. 10:40 to go, third period. Oilers with it. Here's McClellan across the line. Weimer back, but Lamb with it. Shoots. Knocked down in front and cleared by Jim Weimer of the Kings. Chased back by Kevin Lowe of the Oilers. Back into his own zone. Lowe's pass up to center to Muni. Muni has it at center ice. Passes back to the blue line of the Oilers to Kevin Lowe. Lowe shoots from center ice. Stick saved by Healy. Puck taken by Marty McSorley. Kings are leading 3-2, third period. Here's a pass up along the boards now to Nichols. Nichols gets it out to center ice, taken by Duchesne with McSorley. Here's Duchesne across the line. He gets spun around, or excuse me, across the line was Robitaille, then got it to Duchesne. Now down in deep to Lowe. Lowe for the Oilers to Jimmy Carson. Here's Carson coming up to center ice now with the Kings ahead 3-2. Kings taken away. Here's Robitaille ahead now, and across the line goes McSorley into the Oilers zone. McSorley down the left side. He's checked along the boards. Oilers pick it up. Carson in deep. 9:43 to go, third period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Puck comes to center. McSorley back checking. Had it for a moment. Now tips it ahead to Duchesne. Duchesne to Robitaille. Over to Nichols, right wing. Nichols can't get the shot. Huddy got back in a hurry as Nichols had trouble with the puck. Now Nichols shoots and a save by Fuhr. Nichols shooting from way out about 45 feet, but Fuhr knocked it down. Puck comes back into the Kings zone, and Dean Kennedy back to get it. Kennedy's pass up to center to Robitaille. He tips it over to Nichols, and McSorley got tripped, and no penalty here. Play is stopped. We'll be right back. Kings lead at 3-2. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings 3, the Edmonton Oilers 2 in Game 1 of the Smythe Division Semifinals. Game 2 will be here in Los Angeles tomorrow night. All 5 goals tonight on the power play. Contos, Duchesne, and Kruzhelnyski for the Kings. Gretzky has an assist in the game, assisting on the go-ahead goal here early in the third period. Janssen and Huddy have countered for Edmonton.
Now the Kings drive it into the Oilers zone. It comes around to the right side of Kruzhelnyski. His pass into Gretzky, broken up by Huddy. Moves it up to center ice to Messier, but it goes away from him and taken by Waters. Waters pass for the Kings, broken up, and the Oilers come back. Pass over to Messier, left side. Here's Messier moving in into the left wing corner. Tried to center it. Now gets it to Simpson. Up the middle of the blue line to Thomas Janssen. Janssen shot blocked by Taylor. And the net is not only knocked off the magnets, it's tipped over.
And apparently an Oiler was the last player to crash into it, and the face-off will come outside the blue line.
3-2 Kings, or yes, 3-2 Kings with 8:51 to go in the third, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network as we pause for station identification.
At the
Face-off outside the blue line of the Los Angeles Kings with 8:49 to go, third period. Kings up 3-2. Pass to Duguay, hit his skate at center ice of the red line, taken away by the Oilers, but back-checking is Casper to pick it up. Casper gives it now to Ron Duguay. Here's Duguay for the Kings. Over on the right side to Condos. He got the King first goal tonight. He comes across the line, but it's tipped away from him, and the Oilers come back. A 3-on-2 for the Oilers. 3-on-2 break. Down the right side, McClellan. Up the middle. Shot by Lacombe. Deflected as the Kings got back and jammed the middle. Back come the Kings. Up to center ice. Here is Condos into the Oilers zone. Dropped it right to the blue line for Casper. Now to McSorley. McSorley back to Casper. He drives it behind the net to Condos. Back over to Casper, left wing corner. Casper checked there. Gets help from Condos. As Casper is now pinned along the boards. And the puck throws in there with 8:09 to go in the third. Kings 3, Oilers 2.
Out of town scores. Vancouver in overtime tonight. The goal by
face off to the right of Grand Fuhrer here with 8:09 to go, third period.
Anxious moment, Bob. Excuse me, anxious moment there. All three forwards got caught up ice on offense. They've got to be more disciplined.
Kings win the draw. Kennedy shooting just wide to the left after Nichols won the face-off. Nichols against the left wing boards. Wraps, he got wrapped up. He got a centering pass, but it's taken away by the Oilers. Here's Jimmy Carson. Carson's pass broken up, and Nichols sends it out to center. Duchesne broke it up. Now at center ice, Oilers with it again. Over to Randy Gregg, right in front of the Oiler bench. It rolled off of his stick, and Nichols with it. Nichols to Duchesne. Here's Duchesne in the Kings zone. His pass up to center ice into the Oilers zone, and Steve Smythe back together. 7:39 to go, third period. 3-2 Kings. Game 1, best of 7. The Smythe Division semifinal series. Pass to the blue line taken by Nichols. Nichols flips it into the Oilers zone, taken away by Randy Gregg. Gregg gives it to Tikkanen. Here's Esa Tikkanen for the Oilers to center ice. He dropped it back to Randy Gregg. Now back to Tikkanen on the right side. He drives it off the glass into the Kings zone. Puck comes down in the left wing corner, taken by Robitaille. He dropped it off and gave it away. Now behind the net, pass right side, shot wide as it was deflected on the shot from the right side by Lacombe. Kings come to center. Here's Nichols to the Oiler line. Nichols drops it right side to McSorley, but back checking it was poked away. And now behind the Oiler net, Kevin Lowe with it. Simpson was back checking to tip it away there, and the Oilers come to center. Here is Messier. Messier to the King line. Messier shooting, save, Healy. Rebound, save again, Healy. On the shot from the right side by Simpson. And back come the Kings. Healy comes up big on Messier, then on Simpson. Here's Gretzky to Taylor. Oilers zone, right wing. Taylor cut off, right side by Lowe. Taylor spins back. Taylor still with it. Over to Krushelnyski, left side. Krushelnyski rolls it in front of the net. Swept away by Fuhrer. Oilers start to come back out with 6:28 to go in the third. Kings are up 3-2. Puck comes off the skate of Tim Waters of the Kings all the way down into the Kings zone, and back you get it Laidlaw. Laidlaw behind the King net. Laidlaw waits there, comes around the left side. 6:15 to go, third period. Kings up 3-2. Waters moves it to center to Krushelnyski, now to Gretzky, right side. Gretzky with an assist tonight, has to wait for help, and then throws it down into the Oilers zone. Thomas Johnson back to get it. Gretzky comes off, Condos comes on, Casper on for the Kings. 6 minutes to go, third period. Kings up 3-2. Here's Charlie Huddy for the Oilers. Huddy dropped it off left side to McClellan. He throws it into the right wing corner, and it is taken away by the Kings. Nice play by Weimer to get it up to Contos, now to center to Duguay. Duguay had it tipped away by Huddy. Kings with it again and driven down into the Oilers zone by DeGray, but icing going to be called as Thomas Johnson goes back to touch it. 3-2 Kings. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
Kings, 5:40 left, third period.
Face off to the right of Healy. Duguay on the draw with McTavish. The puck is loose, comes into the corner. McClellan with it for the Oilers. Sends it behind the King net. Here Jim Weimer over to get it. Weimer's pass held into the right point by Thomas Johnson. He sends it behind the King net. McSorley is there. McSorley for the Kings gets it to Bernie Nichols. Nichols on the right side. Moves it up to center ice to Jim Weimer. Weimer chases it down. It's tipped away from him and bounces on top of the boards and then into the Oiler bench. 5:19 to go, third period. Kings 3, Oilers 2.
Third period, the Kings going with has been out with McSorley and Robitaille here in the third period.
Now here is the Oilers' Thomas Johnson sending it to the King line. Dale DeGray broke it up. His pass out to center, taken away by the Oilers' Craig McTavish. He fires it right back behind the King net. Stopped by Healy. Kings up 3-2. We're coming up on 5 minutes to go, third period. Puck is along the right wing boards in the Kings zone and frozen there with exactly 5 minutes to go in the third, and the Kings up 3-2. Well, tomorrow night, And these same two teams will be right back here. The Edmonton Oilers in the 3-2 lead with 5 minutes left to go. And on the face-off of the Kings zone, Casper wins the draw to Kennedy. And Tikkanen shaken up. He gets up slowly. Puck comes up to center ice. Kings with it. Here's Nichols. He shoots it out high in the Oilers zone and up over the glass and out of play. And the face-off will come outside the Oiler blue line.
Bernie Nichols hasn't scored here tonight, but he helped set up the first goal when his shot was deflected by Chris Kontos. Again, Nichols with his best season ever by a long shot, 150 points to finish 4th in NHL scoring. Jimmy Carson, 100 points this year for the Edmonton Oilers, 49 goals, 51 assists. Last year, 107 points.
So Jimmy Carson, who was involved in that deal that sent Wayne Gretzky to the Kings, coming through for the Oilers this year, and now off the draw with Carson out there. The Kings have it and send it back behind the Oiler net. 4:35 to go, third period. Bob Miller with Nick Nixon. Kings are up 3-2. Oilers move it to center. Here is Jimmy Carson driving it into the Kings zone. Back is McSorley to play it off the boards. It started to bounce away from him, but he cleared it out to center. Now the Oilers send it over right in between the benches, and it's driven by Carson into the Kings zone. Kennedy with it, but his pass taken away by Tikkanen. Tikkanen's pass stolen back. No, it got away from Kennedy up the middle. Gregg shooting, and a save by Healy. Randy Gregg of the Oilers right in the slot, and Healy made the save, and the Kings cleared it.
One of the few mistakes the Kings have made inside their blue line.
Now the Kings changing up. They got to get back in a hurry. Oilers with it. Kings zone. Pass is batted out of the air. Now a rebound. Score, but no, it's got to be a hand pass. It's got to be a hand pass. The Oilers knocked it down and went to a teammate who shot it in to tie the game. The Kings are arguing that's a hand pass, but the referee, Terry Gregson, says no, the goal is going to count. And the Oilers have tied the game 3-3.
Well, it looked like it definitely was knocked down by a glove of the Edmonton Oilers, but did it hit a King first before it then came through to the Oiler that scored? The shot is floated in front. It is knocked down with a glove by Craig Muni. Then it's touched by Healy. Then Healy pokes it off to his right, and the rebound is put in down low by Esa Tikkanen. So it was knocked down in the air with a glove by Muni, but then it was next touched up by a King, so play could resume.
So obviously not a hand pass, but it looked like it was started. Now the Oilers with it back behind the King net. Into the corner is Laidlaw. He leaves it for Krujewski. Lost it behind the net. The Messier backhander, and Healy dives to knock it away and falls on it for the faceoff. 3:34 to go in the third. 3-3 the score. We'll be back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.
06, 3-3. Third time the game has been tied.
Now Messier with a shot and a save by Healy. Messier from the left circle. Now to center ice. Here's Gretzky. Gretzky for the Kings peels back, and his pass off the right side to Krujewski into the Oilers zone. Krujewski goes in deep, goes behind the net, rolls it out to the left point. It's held in by Waters. His drive is wide. One of the Kings is pinned in behind Grant Fuhr's Dave Taylor. He gets out of there now with the puck taken by the Oilers. Lowe gives it off on the right side to Anderson. He moves it up to the blue line. It's held right on the line by Krujewski. Messier couldn't clear it. Now back in deep behind the Oiler net. It rolls away from Gretzky and is taken now by Messier. 2:56 to go, third period. Game tied at 3. Here's Messier. Gets around Krujewski. Messier to Anderson in the slot. Anderson over the right side. Score! Simpson! Craig Simpson on the right side got it from Glenn Anderson and beat Healy with 2:47 left to go in the third period, and the Oilers lead 4-3.
Well, the Kings' worst fears were realized there. They got caught, and the Oilers had a 3-on-2 situation. Messier, Waters coming over to pick him up. Then Anderson had it, fed it on the right, and Simpson one-timed it. The King forwards too late in getting back, and the Oilers have taken the lead after just tying it here late in the third period. The goal at 17-13. Simpson from Anderson and Messier. No chance for Healy right there, but a breakdown by the Kings.
So the Oilers get 2 goals in 1:07 to take the lead, and now the Kings have got to pull out all the stops to tie it up. Kings with it. Duchesne back of the King line to Kondos. Kondos on the left side to Casper at center. Casper had it tipped away. Back in the King zone. Duchesne back to get it. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Up ahead to Casper, now to Condos on the left side. He drives it down into the Oilers zone, and the Oilers control it and move it up on the right side now. Up to Simpson. He stopped in front of his own bench, but now Heather Lacombe. Lacombe on the right side comes across the King line, stopped by Duchesne. Back to get it is Kennedy. Kennedy for the Kings, up on the right side to Igor Liva. Liva lost it, but Duchesne with it. Duchesne almost lost it. He picks it up. He gives it to Condos. Condos across the line. His pass to Liva, right side, tipped away by Steve Smythe. Now the Oilers clear it out to center and back into the Kings zone. 1:57 to go in regulation, but we have an icing call against the Oilers and a big face-off coming up in the Oilers zone.
2 goals in 1 minute and 7 seconds. Tikkanen tying it at 16:06 on a rebound from Muni and Curry. And then Simpson finishing off a quick 3-on-2 down low inside the blue line. Messier cutting to the left in the middle to
Eighth in NHL playoff history, scoring with 159 points. 1:54 left in regulation. The Kings led 3-2 until the 16:06 mark when it was tied, and 1:07 later the Oilers have taken the lead at 4-3. Face off to the left of goaltender Grant Fuhr. Glenn Sather, the Oiler coach, looks on, breathing a lot easier right now. And off the draw, it comes to Randy Gregg. Gregg for the Oilers, clears it high in the air out to center ice. It bounces to the King line. Waters back to get it. Here's Waters moving it up the left side of the blue line to Robitaille. He throws it over to Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky has an assist tonight. His pass back over to Nichols. Nichols drives it into the Oilers zone. Rebound comes off the glass and up into the crowd. With 1:35 to go in the third period. So the faceoff is going to come outside the Oiler line. Grant Fuhr in goal. Draw for the Oilers. Fuhr still skating around down in front of his net. Now he's ready to go again. Gretzky moving in for the Kings, and off the draw, the Oilers have it in front of their own bench. Yari Curry, his pass at center ice, going to be taken away by Nichols. 1:27 to go in the third. Nichols drives into the Oilers zone, but it's tipped back out to center. Nichols sends it back in. The Kings would have been offside. Oilers clear it to center. Here's Yari Curry, the red line. Curry sends it into the Kings zone, wide of the net to the left. Nichols plays it off the boards, up to Gretzky at center. 1:13 to go in regulation. Gretzky's pass taken away by Tikkanen. Here's Tikkanen's pass, knocked down by Duchesne out of midair, and it's chased down by Gretzky. Gretzky over to Duchesne. Duchesne with it in the Kings zone. Duchesne still with it. 1 minute to go, third period. Here's Robitaille to Duchesne. Healy starting to come out. Pass to center to Gretzky. Healy stays in. Oilers take it away. Now Gretzky with it at center, but his pass comes back in the Kings zone. 48 seconds up to go, third period. Here is Duchesne for the Kings. Up to Nichols. Pass to center, taken away by the Oilers. Across the line, McTavish right down the middle. In front, shoots, save Healy. And he covers up the rebound. But the Kings have lost valuable seconds here in trying to get Healy out to go for the extra attacker with 35 seconds left in regulation. Coming right down the middle was McTavish. He reached out and scooped the puck toward Healy, who made the save, and then reached out with a stick and pulled it in and tucked it under his glove to hang on. But only 35 seconds remain, and the Kings have to tie it up and send it into overtime. It's Edmonton 4, the Kings 3. Now the Kings' Dave Taylor out to talk with the referee. Glenn Healy getting a little bit of a breather. He was starting to come out, and then he decided to go back in again. Now the Kings have called a timeout here, and Healy will skate over to the bench. So Robbie Fatorik will have a chance to talk to his team here, but boy, the odds look bad now as the faceoff is going to be in the Kings zone. They've got to win the draw, get down into the Oilers zone, jam the front of the net, and Steve Casper will take the draw for the Kings and Mark Messier for the Oilers. Don't forget our post-game show coming up. Nick will talk with the star of the game, and we'll have scores of all those other playoff games around the NHL. Here we go on the faceoff. In the King zone to the left of Healy. Casper wins the draw over to Nichols. Nichols sends it behind the King net over to Duchesne. 30 seconds to go in regulation. Healy starts out. Gretzky at center, drives it into the Oilers zone. 26 seconds left on the clock when Healy hits the bench. Here's Casper in front. Taylor with it. Right side. Can't get a shot. Tipped away by Curry. Taylor again. Taylor's drive deflected up in the air. It bounces down to Nichols. Tipped away from him and out to center. 12 seconds to go in regulation. Duchesne with it for the Kings. Over to Taylor, but offside. Taylor couldn't wait as Gretzky was trying to get out of the zone. So now the face-off outside the Oiler line with 7 seconds left in regulation. The Kings had moved it into the Oiler zone and looked like they were going to get a good chance. But Taylor moving to the right had it poke checked away by Jari Kurri. Now Grant Fuhr ready, but he breathes a little easier with the face-off 63 feet away from him outside the blue line of the face-off dot. King net is open. Healy was out with 26 seconds remaining. Well, tomorrow night, if the Kings don't do it here in the next 7 seconds, they'll have to come back and try to even the series. Again, a reminder, we'll have it at 7 o'clock on Prime Ticket Television, 10 minutes to 7 on KLAC Radio. Wayne Gretzky out. He will face off. Gretzky tonight with the assist on the goal by Kruzhelnyski to put the Kings up 3-2 early in the third period. Face-off comes into the Oilers zone. Huddy with it, cleared it out to center. 3 seconds to go. Duchesne sends it back in. 1 second, and it is over. And the Edmonton Oilers, a happy bunch as they have won the first game of the series, and they're down there to congratulate Grant Fuhr. The Kings leave the ice, but the defending Stanley Cup champions are victorious here tonight. The Oilers came up with 15 shots in that third period. The Kings had only 6. So the Oilers take a 1-game lead in the series. They win it 4-3, and we'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Stanley Cup Championships, the semifinal round of the Smythe division, as the Edmonton Oilers score twice in the third period to beat the Los Angeles Kings in game 1, 4-3. The Oilers in the third period fell behind 3-2, and Mike Kruzhelnyski of the Kings got his first of the series, a power play goal from Steve Duchesne and Wayne Gretzky at 2:55. But then the Oilers came back. Esa Tikkanen with his first of the series from Craig Muni and Jari Kurri at 16:06, and a minute 7 later, Craig Simpson with his first of the series, the game winner from Glenn Anderson and Mark Messier at 17:13. The Los Angeles Kings, after they scored that goal in the third period, got only 2 shots in the final 17 minutes of the third period as the Oilers turned it around and won the game. The other night in Vancouver, the other day, I should say Sunday, I saw Glenn Healy, ask him how he was feeling. He had the flu. He said, "I think I'm snake bit." Well, tonight he put in a tremendous performance in goal for the Kings after the Kings team found out at 6 o'clock tonight in their team meeting that Kelly Hrudey, who was slated to start the game, would be out with the flu and would be unable even to sit on the bench. He was so sick, he was in the locker room. Healy came out and played an outstanding game tonight, but the defending Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers came back with a strong third period to take the victory here tonight. So the Kings now head into the next game tomorrow night, needing a win here at home to even the series. Same 2 teams, Oilers Kings tomorrow night in game 2. We'll have it for you at 7 o'clock on Prime Ticket Television and at 10 minutes to 7 with our pregame talk show on KLAC Radio.